Hi, this is Braden Holtby.
Hi, this is Brian Burke.
This is Kelly Rudy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carly Agro from Sportsnet Central.
I am Jason Greger.
Hi, this is Scott Hartnell.
This is Quick Dick McDick.
Hey, it's Ron McLean, Hockey Night in Canada and Rogers Hometown Hockey, and welcome to the Sean Newman Podcast.
Hey, folks, welcome to the podcast. I have Mikey, Dubz sitting beside me. We're going to try and read off a little bit of our sponsors. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if he messes it up, or probably more likely, I mess it up. So first, let's get to Lauren and Art. Lauren at Art. See, I've already screwed it up.
There we go.
Lauren at Art and Soul. She's a passionate, hardworking lady who's extremely positive. She promises she won't disappoint you. I promise she won't disappoint me. Has she ever disappointed you, Mikey? I know she does some things for runners.
She got a ton of medals. She hooks up the Lloydminster Runners Group every year for their Run Revival, their Pure Revival, and their Titanium Half 5, 10K marathon. She's just awesome. She's got it all dialed in, and they're beautiful.
And you know what I love about her is I always send off. Normally what I do is I send off, hey, like I had Mikey Dubz on, like, do you got any stories about running and like doing this? And she probably would have spit back, actually I do this, because she says the stories go on, and she remembers every piece that she lays her hands on.
Crafts.
Isn't that crazy?
Love it.
Yeah. So make sure you stop in Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give her a call, 780-808-6313. Or stop in 1639th Street. It's more than just a frame. It's a story. HSI Group. I've been talking an awful lot about those pesky salesmen because on my corner, they love to just, I've butchered the Oilers because they're not in the playoffs anymore, but they love to stop in at supper time. And how about yourself on your neck of the woods? Do you get any of those salesmen coming in at inopportune times?
I do, and I listen to them when I can, but the boys at HSI, when they come knocking, I do some listening because they got some products that everyone can love.
Well, they use technology to give you a peace of mind, P-E-A, not a P-I-E for you, a peace of mind so you can focus on the things that truly matter. You're going, what the heck is Sean spelling that out for? Listen to the podcast, you'll know what I'm talking about. 3902 52nd Street, or give Brody or Kim a call at 306-825-6310 and get that pesky salesman off of mine or Mikey's lawn. Foremost, they offer smooth walled grain bins, hopper bottoms, and the fuel tanks. They're in stock and manufactured locally. They want to ensure you know that they are constructed of the highest quality and engineered for a long life. Oh, Mr. Engineer.
What's up? Use Foremost all the time. You see them everywhere around town. Local.
Well, they're a local company.
Local company, and they support a lot of things around the city, and I got a lot of good friends that work there, so I have nothing bad to say about them.
Well, and they've been, Lou over there, he's listened a ton. He's always out walking in the mornings. He's great. He listens to everything. They're huge supporters of the area, the podcast. They got, I'm just looking at the dotted notes here. They got delivery is free within a 300-kilometer radius of Lloydminster, and you can buy anything at their co-op locations, which is Lloydminster, Lashburn, and Neilburg. And if you don't like listening to us two yahoos, head over to their website, foremost.ca, and you can probably find out better information from there. Gartner Management, what do you think of the podcast studio tonight?
I love it, man. It's beautiful. The space, the retail, it's awesome. I love this place.
Yeah, well, this is Wade Gartner's building. Gartner Management here in Lloydminster, specializing in all types of rental spaces. This little spot, or maybe your company needs a 6,000 square foot commercial space, give Wade a call, 780-808-5025. Have you seen the SNP billboard?
Dude, I run a lot, and I found it. First day, didn't get a hat, but I found it.
What, did you take a picture?
No, well, yeah, while running with my eyes.
I got a couple more coming right now. I'm dabbling. I'm actually I got like 8 new hats coming out. I'm trying to find the right one, so when I find it, I can order a bulk load and be like, this is it. This is what I want.
You better believe, though, I'm going to be in front of that billboard next week then.
Well, thanks to Read and Write, Deanna Wandler, for their amazing work. It is, I tell you what, I get so many compliments on that billboard, and I'd love to sit and say it came all out of my brain, parts, but the way they put it together, man, hats off to them. If you're interested in advertising on the show, visit SeanNewmanPodcast.com. In the top right corner, you can hit the contact button and send me your information. Just a little blurb. We've got lots of different options, and I want to find something that can work for the both of us. Now on to your T-Bar 1, Tale of the Tape. Originally from Lloydminster, he made a name for himself while working in clubs all around Canada. He got to work with talented artists such as Major Lazer, T.I., and Stevie Aoki. He has a clothing line, Piece of Love, where all profits go to charity. He had massive knee surgery a couple of years ago, and since has fell in love with running. He had a goal in 2019 of running 2,000 kilometers for the year. Since then, he just completed a backyard ultra marathon where he ran over 120 kilometers in less than a day. He's got his own podcast, Where is the Love, and is an enigma, to say the least. So sit back, buckle up. Here we go.
Yo, what's going on? You're with your boy Mikey Dubz, and you're listening to the one, the only, the majestic Sean Newman podcast.
Well, welcome to the Sean Newman podcast. Tonight, I'm joined by, he doesn't want me to use his real name. He doesn't want me to break his covers. All right, I'm cool with that. Mikey Dubz. I was saying to you before we started this that you were probably the first guest, I want to say, even going back to like Bill Caverly, like guest number like 3. And even then I had like jot notes of like a couple of things. I was pretty nervous, whatever. But for those who haven't listened, they can hear you on Where's the Love? You got a podcast, and I was guest number 10.
I think you're 13.
13?
I think I broke 10.
Oh, okay, 13. I'll take 13. Well, I don't know if that's unlucky.
Do you know what number this one is?
105. And actually,
you're good at keeping track of it.
And actually, it's kind of like 105.5 because I started switching up started doing the archive ones. Yeah. But I didn't want to put them in. I wanted to kind of separate them, so I called them SNP Archives number 1. So there's actually 2 104s, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in the list, it shows up as 1. I don't know.
Dude, I like being the halfer.
That's right. So yeah, you're 105. 105.
0.5 potentially.
You should have probably been like 96 or 97, but for the life of us, we couldn't seem to make it work. But anyways, going back to it, you, sir, are one of the guys that when I went on your podcast, I told you on there, and people should probably pause this and go listen to that and then come back because you'll hear the beginning of this. But I literally didn't do any homework because I always do homework. And coming in today, I was like, should I call a couple people? Should I nah, there's this mystery around Mikey Dubz, right? He won't even tell me his last name, folks, right? I couldn't tell the people where we interviewed because it was the back cave and we're not allowed to release the location. So I went, screw it. We're going to go with a little mystery tonight.
Yeah, I like it. It's funner.
I tell you what, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. I have no idea what's coming at me tonight. I mean, I got an idea, but
we got whatever. We got everything.
That's cool.
We got stories. I had to actually, like I said, I missed my run in the morning. I run every day. So today I missed my run, so I had to burn one quick little jaunt.
What's a little jaunt?
16 clicks real fast to get here. So now I'm like rolling on that runner's high. This whole cast is going to be just spitting.
You realize for most people, 16K is not a short jaunt, let alone 1K being a short jaunt.
So I was texting, or I actually was talking to my wife on my way over here, and she's just like, "Oh, so how was because she knew I had to go for a quick run, and she finds it kind of comical at this point. Like, oh, how far did you get? I was like 16.3, and she goes, yeah, just a real quick run around the block, stretch your legs out, hon. Yeah. So it's something weird, and obviously not everyone's gonna do it because it's crazy and potentially stupid at the same time. But I love running, dude, and you know that. I see you all the time. I actually look for you in the morning, except for they close that path. I
have a confession to make.
You haven't been going, I know.
I hit 81 days straight of getting up at between 5 and 6 in the morning. Anytime before 6 was my goal, and I like to be about roughly 5:20. Me and Harley go for a walk and whatever. And then, and I hadn't had a drink in 41 days.
Man, I'm so impressed. Oh.
No.
Okay.
We broke this streak. I was stressed. Work was stressing me. There was a lot of things just stressing me. And finally, one night, me and the wife, I just sat down. I said, let's have a drink. I just want to have a scotch. I want to sit on the deck. It was lovely. And I made 81 days of waking up every morning. And then one day, I just couldn't pull myself out of bed. I was so tired. And I don't know if it's because I'm pushing myself too hard, I don't know.
No excuses. Baby.
Except I agree. And I thought of you the entire time the rest of the day. And you know what's funny? I listened to a quote once upon a time that says, if I don't do it every day and I miss one, I might as well miss them all. And I've been stuck in this rut.
Oh, come on.
So I needed you on here because if you don't follow Mikey Dubz, he's all about no excuses. So I needed,
corny. So I love it. I love it, but it's so, like you said, you're the first person to actually to my face be like, I swear a lot, right? So this is my disclaimer right now. I've got a little bit of a party.
you got so what you say on this one after you got to go. Okay, sorry, Mom. Like I'm sorry. She's gonna.
Nah, my mom, she just beats me for it. She knows it's coming. Every podcast I do, I try to swear less. Fuck. I mean, you know. So, but it started off. You're the first person. You said exactly what I thought in my head. You're like, man, I saw your first few Instagram videos where it was no excuses, and like, fuck, how corny is that? And that's how I thought. I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever said. Like, and then it stuck, and then I didn't do a video, and I got called out. People are like, yeah, Mr. fucking no excuse, where you at? And this is like week 2, and I'm like, oh, and then so I went back and I hit it, and I do it every time, and I will only do it for when I ran, right? And then it turned into this thing where people, if I didn't post a video or I didn't use no excuses, people are like, where's my motivation? Like you've killed off what I want to do. And I'm just like, oh shit. So now this corny hashtag has stuck. Like,
but it's you.
Yay. But I'll take it. You know what? It packs a punch. When you sit down and you get over the corniness of it, people say they wake up and go, shit, what's my excuse? I go, fuck, you don't got one. Like this morning I had an excuse, and we're going to get to Ross Thompson at some point in this. I promised hundreds of people
that Ross Thompson would come up.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what guess was Ross Thompson? Ross Thompson's in the first 50 anyways.
I was going to say like his age. He's got to be in the 80s. Just joking, Rossi. So anyways, me and him get up 4:30 in the morning. He's coming to pick me up. We're going out to train on the hills. We do hill training Wednesday morning, super early. We go out to our big ski resort, Mount Joy Ski Resort, you know what I'm saying? And we run up and down the hill as many fucking times as we can in an hour.
So how many times do you get up and down it?
Well, we're averaging like 6. We probably could get 7 in. Because it's 8. Man, someone's going to call me out on this. It's a little over a kilometer up and down. I think it's about 600 meters. Like horizontal distance up and down, and then the vertical distance is 80 to 100 meters each one. So we go out there and we just bust out back and forth. Well, this morning I wake up and I get changed, and it's dark out, but I can't tell if it's just dark. And then next thing you know, lightning hits, thunder strikes, and the last thing you really should be doing is ripping up like a hill and I think there's like a huge power pole or a cell phone receiver.
Yeah, like a tower.
There's a huge tower. So cracks, next thing you know, old man Ross, too old. I ain't doing it. So no excuse. And I go, well, it looks like we got to run after work. So then I go to work at like 6:30, take off early, bust out, get here, because someone will beat me up and say, where's your excuse? And I don't have one. I got nothing other than I'm busier than shit. But I got no excuse. So quick, 16.
You know, the no excuses thing, it's a weird thing. And you told me this last time, right? When I hop on Instagram, which I try not to do that honestly that often. I really don't like to have it. My favorite thing is sticking my phone down on the floor so we get to have a fun little...
100%.
This is the best. I don't have to worry about anything going on in that phone for a couple hours and whatever. But when I do, and I see Mikey Dubz up there, you're probably one of, I want to say 5 people that I'm like, the thumb just like, wow, let's see where he is today. Oh, just ripped off like 16K, no excuses. Ah, fuck you, Mike.
But you know what? The one thing that I really am determined to always make sure is that I don't fucking lie.
True.
I don't lie who I am. I don't lie what I do. I don't go out there like, yo, look at me. Look at my filter. There's
nobody like that, is there?
Let's get it. Nike. Ooh. And then the camera on the ground as I run by, you know, like, yo, who's videotaping you? You know what I mean? I like literally there's
Could you show us a little more cleavage? Mike?
Dude, no shirt.
No shirt?
Next time, just straight up no shirt. I don't even care. But some days I don't even know my name. If you listen to what I'm saying, I'm so burnt out by that point already. No excuses, and it's Monday and it's like fucking Friday. I don't know what day it is. But the thing is, I always say, it's not fun and it's never going to be fun.
So you don't enjoy it at all?
I love it, but it's not enjoyable. Don't think you're going to go out and exert your body, whether it's spin class, biking, running, and it's going to be fucking awesome the whole time. Like training is, and you know what? I've gotten to that point where it's like elite training. So it's like training is training. Like today, I had to run 2 kilometers as fast as I could to the point where I couldn't breathe and hold it for 2 kilometers. That's not fun. You don't see the finish line in that. You leave your house, you warm up, and then you go, all right, I only got to do like 6 or 7 of these. Click it on, and you start running. And then the one thing you always focus on, you never look at your watch because you don't want to like mentally trick yourself. You look at your watch and you're only 500 meters. And then you go, I have 1.5. So now you've already beat yourself up over it. You look at your watch, you're at 1, you're like, oh shit, I still have half. You're not sure if you can hold it. Like you judge yourself. Don't look at it. The watch will beep when 2K's done.
So this is what I want to know. Because if the entire time we talked last time, at the end of it, when we sat and we talked for a bit longer, and we probably just should have kept recording. But where did this start from?
Okay, so here's this. Okay, so we kind of talked about it a little bit, and a lot of people don't know about it. And it's totally fair. And I thought, you know what, this is probably the best time to just go over it. So back in university, my dad committed suicide, and from there, mental health was nothing, right? It was kind of on the back burner. People knew about it. People kind of shrugged it off, right? There was no technology, social media. People couldn't get it out there, right? So he committed suicide. A lot of my good friends at the time, a lot of support from me and my mom, and it didn't really affect me, right? Because it was his decision. It wasn't mine. It was hard on my mom. I saw that it was hard on our family, but I never did anything about it. And then all of a sudden, in the last 5 years, mental health has grown and grown and grown and grown. And whether everyone's coming out with, their own issues and doing this other thing. But then this is where the no excuse came from. I literally was like, I used to play competitive soccer, amateur pro wakeboard. I was doing it all. Like I just loved to do anything. You call me, I was in. Cricket, let's go. Teach me how. I'll study it. I want to
how to play cricket?
No, Dr. Governor was supposed to show me, and just, man, I think I don't think I can just like, yo, honey, I got this cricket racket ordered on Amazon. I think we can figure it out, So I need to play with people that know what's going on. But back to the story was I needed to do this no excuses. So everyone said running. I had knee surgery, so I couldn't do competitive sports anymore because I didn't trust anybody. So then I said running.
Oh, back this up. You had what happened to your knee?
Some dude illegally slid tackled me in like a competitive soccer league. Our team was doing really well, and he just saw me, and he's just like, take him out, take the striker.
You think he totally took you out?
Totally. Guy got kicked out of the entire league. Like he was toast after that because I didn't even have the ball.
What?
And the way he like contacted my knee was like perfectly lateral, just boom, crushed me. So then I was out for like a year of doing anything, and it killed me.
So what did you tear?
So it blew my ACL apart, and then my meniscus was flipped in like 2 places on the outside, and it was like a severe tear through the middle on the interior side. And then my tibia had multiple hairline fractures halfway down my shin. So I was like, oh, this is sweet.
Guy, the Hulk, hitting you?
No, fuck, man, I weigh 120. Guy could have been 9. I don't know. So anyways, I go to the competitive sports. I've loved team sports my whole life. I love people. I love just running around doing shit with people, hockey, skateboarding, you name it. I love watching people succeed in something that they're trying to do. It gives me just this like satisfaction of seeing like the world's not a shitty place, right? Even if it's not me, I just love seeing that. You can see it in people's souls, right? So then this happened, and I was kind of like getting depressed. And then I was getting into this like state where I was, what do I do? And so I did some research and I was doing some things, and people said running is the number one for mental health. And I see all these people posting, fucking, I got problems and I got this and no one will listen to me, and whatever their story is, which is totally their story, and I'm judging no one. But mine, I was like, in my head, fucking do something. Like, I can't change you. I can like your photo. I can write you a comment. Yo, Shawnee, baby, you the best. You got the nicest smile I've seen, bro? But I can't fucking do anything for you. You got to do some shit for you.
I don't know if that was a dig, folks, or what.
Dude, I told you, I fucking love your smile. I told you, I love that smile. So then I'm like, dude, I was like, I'm going to do something for myself. Running. It's physically exhausting, mentally challenging, and apparently it clears your head. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this a go. So I started getting up in the morning. I'm a morning person. So I'd run 500 meters, and I'd be toasted. I'm like, man, this sucks. This is no fun. Everyone that starts, I hear that every time. I could bet you money. Then, within a week, it was 1 kilometer every second day in the morning. And I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, there's nothing enjoyable about this. Didn't matter what song I had. Didn't matter about what book on tape. Everything sucked about it. 2 months in, I distinctively remember I ran 4K before work, and I called my girlfriend, like my wife now, but my girlfriend at the time, Con, and I go, you would never believe what I did this morning. I ran 4K, and she's like, holy shit. And I'm like, it sucked, but I did it. Since then, it was like, what can I do? And then I got into the running group here in Lloyd and in Saskatoon. And guys like Ross, they taught me, like, you know what, don't worry about this, and little tidbits. I fucked myself up like 3 or 4 times not listening, trying too hard, blow a knee out again, rip some shit, all sorts of things. And then I really dialed it in, and I said, okay, I started with half a kilometer, and I just stayed focused on it, right? I said, you got to give it time to see if it works. I can't do it for a week and say, nah, shit, this didn't work. So then I gave it 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, I ran my first half, and I placed like 15th out of like 2,700. And then I was like, I love this. And it sucks, but I love it. And then you were there 2-3 weeks ago, 123 clicks.
Tell the listeners what you were doing. That was probably honestly a month ago now. That was July
11th.
Oh yeah, shit, it's a month ago.
We're literally a month ago.
On the dot.
Yeah. So, I want to finish the mental health thing, because then I beat that one up, and then we're done with it. So what I did is I wanted to experiment with where it took me in my mind. It took me to some dark fucking places, because when you run that long, so the first thing you do is you run little distances and it sucks. Second thing you do is you start running bigger distances and it sucks. You trick your mind with music, podcasts, whatever distract you. You don't want to be running, right? You're just out doing something, right? Trying to not know what you're doing. Then the next thing you do is drop the music. Now you're running and it sucks. You got nothing to listen to, but you appreciate everything around you. It doesn't matter if you're here, fucking Regina. Like, there's nothing sweet about running around Regina.
Sorry,
Right?
Regina.
Sorry, Regina, but if you're listening, you sit down and think. Nothing sweet, about running or running around Regina. Wascana's a beautiful lake, don't get me wrong, so that's cool. But then I go back, and then, so now I'm like, I did something about it. It's made me so much stronger that no one can kick me down. Like, I can't even get down on myself. I get up, I'm like, oh shit, my hairline's like fucking going backwards. Meh. I'm going to go running, clear my brain, and it's done something amazing. And I'm not saying you have to run, but it's things like that I think it's the goal, the determination. You're achieving something that no one can tell you can't. You set a goal. I'm going to run 5K. You run that 5K. Who is going to stop you? You did it. You don't have to look for the likes. You don't have to look for the pats on your back. Sure, some of it's nice, but at the end of the day, you go to bed and go, man, I fucking ran 5K. And I don't care how fast it was. I did it.
Do you think it's the accomplishment of finishing a distance, or do you think it's the exertion of it?
So I think it starts with the accomplishment of finishing the distance, and then it becomes the exertion. Because I find like it becomes you more efficient.
Your body, you know, I was thinking about this on the way over here. I'm like, how many mornings now have you, or how long have you been doing this?
A year and a half only.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
If tomorrow you went like 5 days and you're like, I'm just not going to run to see what happened, I think you'd be miserable.
When I have one rest day a week, and I'm shitty human.
Yeah, because your body wants it.
Like when I'm at work, I can't even think straight. Usually I go into meetings, I'm monster, try to be like the lion in the room, not ignorant, just accomplish some goals. Because from running, I know if we work together, if we do what we know we can do, we can accomplish a goal. I don't run that day. I go to a meeting, I'm just kind of like, fuck, what am I doing here? Like my brain's not turned on.
I used to, I still do. I'd read a book, quote, doesn't matter. It was Win the Morning, Win the Day. And it was all about if you get up in the morning and accomplish something. For you, it's running.
Yep.
For me and Harley, we were going for those walks. And there was just something, you just had a glow on after. Like just an absolute glow.
No one could kick you in the junk, right? Like it didn't matter.
And you want to talk about shitty human being. I was saying that I haven't been out, it's been like 6 days. I've gone like sparingly, let's call it twice over 6 days. And I've kind of been a shitty human being.
So dude, tomorrow morning get the fuck up and
Yeah,
go for
yeah,
a walk. Even around your block.
I'm gonna go Mikey Dubz search, and you can spot it on Instagram tomorrow.
Yeah. No excuse. You gotta make sure you got no excuses.
I love it. I tell you what, I love it. It's corny.
It's corny. It's as corny
Nobody can get over how corny it is. But when you see you do it every single day, it's like, yeah, but that takes something. I don't care how corny that is, right?
I know.
You know, as listener, you mentioned when you came in here and you sat down, you're like, man, how are you doing as many podcasts you're doing, right?
Yeah.
I was going to take a break at Christmas time this past year. I was going to take 2 weeks off. We're going down to Arizona. And about 4 listeners said, like, literally text me or talk to me, like, face-to-face, said, but that goes against your whole thing. Your whole thing's consistency. Like, you're consistent.
100%.
Every week you're releasing an episode.
Yeah.
Rain or shine, Christmas or a funeral or my son being born, you release an episode. That's what you do. And I'm
figure out how to get it done.
And I was like, I hate you guys. But all right. Sounds good. That's how I got Paul Bissonnette, right? That was the week. Now, speaking of Paul Bissonnette, we might as well, you mentioned it's a hockey podcast. This guy somehow is just, lightly sends me a picture of him and Paul Bissonnette. What is that about?
So I was DJing in a nightclub, and as I guess for everyone listening, I may DJ. And that's what kind of got me rolling on a lot of things. But started DJing, and I'm in this nightclub, and it's packed, full house, and a group of like 6 dudes get escorted in, like they called it the VIP back door. So these dudes roll in, and they set up this table right beside my DJ booth, and like all my degenerate friends in the DJ booth, because the DJ booth was ginormous, right? So everyone got to, all my friends, I think that's why they hung out with me. Call a spade a spade. Some of them are still like some of my best friends today. Some of them I've never talked to, right? So, but you know what? Everyone had a good time. In the moment, it was a good group of human beings, guys, girls. So we have this booth, and then there's this booth right beside us, and all these like fairly, bigger dude. My friend circle, all little surfers, right? Guys that are like been at the gym, bigger, formal, no chiclets kind of deal, right? And
Hockey players.
Don't know this yet.
Okay.
Don't know this yet. So then one of the guys comes over, and he goes, "Hey, play this song." And I like turn my head to him, and I go, "What's that, dude?" He goes, I said, "Hey, play this song." And I said, "Hey, I don't know who the fuck you are." And he just looked at me like no one's ever said that to him before. Nobody, especially not this kid that's entertaining. Probably, I think there was about 1,200 people at the club going off. People having a good time. It wasn't like we were shitty DJs. Let's put it that way. Like, we knew how to have fun. Whether it was playing Spice Girls or Calvin Harris, I knew how to drive the crowd to a good place. So then he comes back over, and he's got his buddy, and I think his name, Jared Stahl, right? Is that
Jared Stahl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he with this dude, and he's got.
I love a non-hockey guy. This
dude,
is amazing.
And he shows me this ring because they just won the
Stanley Cup. Yeah.
Right. And I look and I just go, "That's a really pretty ring," like just like nonchalant. Because again, man, this is my job you're in my job now, right? When I don't walk out on the fucking ice like a ref and tell you, go to the penalty box. For what? Go to the penalty box, you know? So anyways, they come up and I said, you know what? Fine, I'm going to give you this. And someone, I'm not going to lie, said, no, that's Nasty 2.0. And I'm just like, okay, I've heard of this dude, Twitter dude. So now I'm like putting it together. And I said, I'll play your song for sure, 100%. Let's go. Play your song. He goes, what do you mean? Let's go. So let's go. We're going to do shot of tequila, and then we're going to leg wrestle in the middle of the dance floor. And he looks at me like, oh, okay. So we do the shot of tequila. We walk over to the dance floor. I've got the mic in my hand. I'm just like walking around like this, like, hey, what's going on? I said, yo, I need everyone to move. And then they moved, and then we played Run DMC. Right? Like I had it cued and I just looked at my buddy and just like, yo, hit it. So he hit it. So me and Paul, and everyone knows who he is, except for me probably, obviously, and my like surfer homies, everyone else there. And they're kind of like, well, what's Dubz doing? We lay down our back and we flip our legs up. No fucking lie. He swings me and I like hit the wall like 50 feet away. And I get up, you win. What song do you want? Go back up, like homies for the rest of the night. So, and I'm like, this dude probably since that day has done so many crazy things, but I think he'll be like, yeah, I remember that one time.
Yeah,
that kid challenged me to a leg wrestle in a nightclub to play my song. Didn't know who I was. I don't think he knew until I left. So that's where Paul came in, and I was just laughing.
You know, it's
and now Pink Whitney's just like,
well, it's,
and I don't even know if he has anything to do with it, but he's like a hype man for him. Is he part of it?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. See.
Yeah.
Boom.
See, I love a non-hockey guy. You know, it's you were
hold on a sec. How do hockey dudes take vodka and put sugar and lemonade in it and then brand? Like I thought they'd have like IPA 5000, 20% carb loaded. Let's get it. Bud Extreme.
You want to know what my favorite beer is? We're talking Fourth Meridian. We're drinking Fourth Meridian tonight, and we're having the sour. What do we call it? The B League
sour. Fourth Meridian.
I tell you what, it's good enough. You want to lick the bottle out. Like that's how tasty it is. Nice little red color, pinkish color to it.
Yeah.
My favorite beer they have is the blonde. I'm a typical hockey guy probably. I just like a smooth beer. Just give me a smooth beer.
You're just a typical human.
So the reason I think Pink Whitney got started, and now I'm going to get hassled because everybody's like, you can't remember this? This is a while back.
So hold on, let's put you on the spot. I want to know exactly.
Well, they were making fun of Ryan Whitney, who's the other guy, like one of the big, there's four of them on Spittin' Chicklets. Paul Bissonnette and Ryan Whitney being the two NHL guys, right? And Ryan Whitney, he drinks a drink called the Pink Whitney, which is vodka and pink lemonade. They approach the major sponsor, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden it sells out everything and you can't keep it stocked, right? Like, I mean, you could have bought a flat of that and sold it for $50 a bottle and everybody here would have bought it. Like, that's how popular it was.
Jeez, man. It was so hard to get.
Yeah, for the longest time. When I was down in Arizona, that was during that time.
Yeah.
And he said they ran out of glass. Ran out of literal bottles to put it in. Like, how do you do that?
Man, I'm surprised they didn't come out in the 2-liter like
pop bottle.
Fuck yeah, man, that would have been suiting. Just like we need to do this for now to make the sales. So, but yeah, so Paul turns out super nice dude, super nice human. Spent the whole night. You know, he hung out with us. He was nice to all my friends. You know, it was dope. One of those hockey players.
So now it just raises, you just like, my brain goes 20 million different ways. Normally this is why you do your research. So you can just kind of walk through a person's kind of like, right, you've dropped some major bombs here. And I don't know where to go because.
But I told you I wasn't going to drop too many, just
fair.
Some. But I'll yeah. We were talking about 100 clicks.
Well, your running thing now is how we kind of stumbled across each other, I think, right?
For sure.
Like the social media, watching you do the no excuses is, I find it mesmerizing because when you talk about running and to hear a guy who runs every day and go, man, it ain't fun. I go, right? But how are you still doing it then?
Determination, man. There's goals, long-term goals.
But you say that, but you like some of the things that go along with it. You like the clear head.
The dopamine rush.
Right?
The serotonin release. I love it all. I love the sore muscles.
You talk about, I read a post you had, discipline, get rid of the anxiety, a couple other things.
Yeah.
How has it changed your life running that much? And I mean, like, I assume you ain't out till 11 o'clock at night every night.
So I've actually had to pull back from DJing. It was that time of my life. I'm older. I got married. I love spending time with my wife. I love spending time with our families. So the running was kind of like that thing I could get up and do and knock that out of the park. And then, like you said, days started, move on, let's go. But I'm not gonna lie, 8:30 is bedtime. Like that's how it is. So I know. And
we got him up past his bedtime tonight, folks.
Oh God, just come like 10 o'clock, just be sleeping on this microphone. But so then I where the hell was I going with it? So I had to drop DJing and stuff like that to, be able to run. Like I had to pick a route here. We're getting old. There's not enough time in the day, full-time jobs, all these other side hustles.
So does DJing not pay?
So back in the day, it was good.
Wait, let's break it down for a moron, right? I feel like
I think everybody asks this question. Everyone listening that's ever seen a DJ goes, do they make that much money? Does Calvin Harris make $100 million a year?
Well, does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not because he's DJing, but one thing people have to understand about DJs, it's amazing lifestyle and it's really cool. Everything's given to you. Show in a bar, all the alcohol's there, free bar tab, free ride home, free food, free this, free hotel, free. It's sweet. But guys like Aoki and Sunny or Skrillex, I guess everyone knows them. They go like 365 days a year. Somehow Skrillex will hit 368 shows because on New Year's he'll do one in, he'll get a direct flight from France to land in New York to drop the ball. Like
in
hits
both
two
places.
of them. Yeah. And then some guys do like morning here, morning there, and after party in Vegas. Like they hustle, man.
I'm fucking tired thinking about that.
Dude, so me and I've DJed with Steve Aoki multiple times, and we've had this discussion over and over again because I go, dude, how do you do this? Like, I'm from Lloyd. No one knows that. Like, at the time, people don't know because I was like in Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary, Edmonton, all over the place. Just every weekend, I would be in Saskatoon on Friday night, Edmonton on Saturday night. Like, it was like people didn't know where I was from. So I go to Steve, well, how do you do this? He goes, every minute I'm not DJing or like producing, I'm sleeping. I don't have time to do anything else. Like I go from here to the jet, fall asleep, wake up, I'm in fucking Vegas, straight to the club DJ. And then I go home, fall asleep for 4 hours, wake up and I'm gone somewhere else. And so it's like efficiency at its finest, but then you add in all this partying. Because at the time, you can't say no DJs never drank or partied, right? Everyone has their poison that they pick. Some are like really fucking extreme. They do a lot of maybe bad shit. I've seen it all. But, even my experience, we would drink because it was unlimited, right? But man, you were a pile the next day. I remember waking up the next day for a show the next night that would be at like 10. And I'd wake up like 45 minutes before because it was such a painful night with my buddies. So it's like DJing is sweet. It's had its place in time for me. The young DJs that are doing it now are smarter about it. Like, cause they got to try a little bit more. The market's really flooded. There's a lot of DJs. So they're competing a lot more, right? They got to try to be more creative, but there's a lot more different techniques. There's different, like back when I started, it was turntables. There was not all these electronics, like, these little keyboards that have all the buttons. So you had to actually know what you were doing to do it when I started. And then now I see there's a lot of DJs. So those ones that are still DJing have to try harder. But then you got the old school DJs that are still there crushing new school. New school's crushing old school. Like it's a bit of a mix. And I'm just kind of curious after COVID, like when clubs eventually at one point in life open up, what's going to happen? Because some are not going to survive. Some will survive. And I'm not sure what the style is going to be like.
Could you have made a go at it and you just didn't want to make
sure.
a go?
For sure. I definitely could have. Yeah, I would. And I wouldn't have been that like cut DJ that like one of my really good friends, the Gaff from Saskatoon. I think he's like world known. For sure he is. Like, he's world known. He might be one of the best in Canada. Super humble, would never know. You watch him DJ with vinyl, holy shit. Like, the tricks, the cutting, the scratching, you know, all this stuff. He was like, you know, Red Bull kind of style. And then Charlie Hustle, who made it all the way to like the top 3 in the world for DJing, who's also from Saskatoon's another good friend. Like, these guys were really like all over the place, and it was sweet to watch. I was that DJ that you're like, I wanted the fucking sickest wedding DJ, but in a club. And it could be like, not even a club. I want him at a festival. I want him to help headline a festival. And it was like, people would not see shit coming. I maybe didn't know how to scratch as good as everyone, but man, my creativity level was, you know, top notch. I could just, like this talk, like our hamster wheel, we're kind of all over the place, but that's how I am in my head. And that's the problem I have with even doing shows or interviews or, you know, because I'm always thinking 6 songs ahead of what you're thinking right now. Because I need to be prepared. Because when you have 4,000 people looking at you, you ain't got a song, you ain't got some idea or game plan, well, you look stupid. Right? So if I wanted to, Post Malone's manager, he reached out to me multiple times being like, get you in New York, let's get you going. Before Posty was really big. And I was always like, and his name's Dre, and I was just like, we're texting back and forth for like a year. You gotta come down. Yeah, dude, I gotta. No other person would have been like, yeah, I gotta. Yo, Newman, what's up, dude? You wanna like go do a podcast? Like, people be like, what? So that you could tell that's where my head was at. And that's where my wife was like, obviously you've chosen what you want to do, right? You don't.
So what do you do for a day job?
Engineer. You fucking just got to add a twist into it, man.
See, folks, this is why I didn't do my homework, because if I just kind of like I feel like somebody out there is listening going, like,
no, but someone's listening. What the fuck?
They're like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you could have just went with the DJ life.
Oh, for sure.
Was it a choice of like, you know, I don't want Aoki's his like that. I don't know if I'm that committed to like just like I sleep and then I DJ and I sleep and I DJ. I have no life. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Is that why then?
No. What it was is I had to make a choice. Do I give up a girl that means lots? And this isn't this sappy story. This is it. Do I give up a girl, potentially make bad friends, give up all the friends I've had, all the friends I've just made? Do I give up my, you know, where I'm from, my like humbleness, like who a lot of people will say like, and it's a fair assumption from all my DJing. He's cocky, all this other stuff. But people don't understand when I was DJing or when I was doing things, I'm like working. I can't come into your workplace and just like want your attention right now. Give it to me. Play my fucking song. Do this, do that. Mike never replies. He doesn't follow me on Instagram. Guy, I don't half the time when I was DJing, I didn't really even manage half of my accounts. Like, someone else had to run them because I was too busy. So when people call me out, I'm like, no, I'm humble at heart. I'd do anything for anyone. But then would I give all that up to go and try to make a go at it and become someone that everyone wants to be? But maybe it wasn't for me. And at the time I said, like, it would have ruined me and Kenita for sure. I think she would have just said, you know what's too much for me. And I saw more happiness with her. So that's, you know, I wanted to spend time with my mom. I didn't want to be gone 300 days a year. You know, I wanted to see my friends do cool shit. I didn't want to like live a life through texting.
Can I ask, is this around the time your father takes
No.
his life?
So actually, my father passed before this.
Okay.
DJing came out of this just because my friends and I were figuring out how do we get in a club and not pay for shit.
It was a good idea.
Dude, it was. And it worked. But then it became like extremely like exhausting, exciting, and overwhelming all at the same time for me. Because everyone's like, oh, Dubz got us on the guest list. And then I'm like, yeah, I do, but I got to work my ass off. And if I fuck up, like this guy, like I'm Calvin Harris tonight, I'm with Benny Benassi, I'm with Tommy Lee, I'm blah, 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 blah. I fuck up, I look like an idiot. So yeah, it's sweet. All my friends get to come in. And I love that. And they drink all my alcohol because I'm like, sweet. But at the same time, like in the back of my head, I'm like, don't fuck this up. You're going to be that dude.
So you
just another shitty DJ. And I wanted to show, like, we're not shitty out here.
Oh, I'm gonna be into the pig launcher.
You gotta.
So
well, just real quick, last time me and Sean did a podcast on mine, he actually had to drink my beer too. Because I'm hard. I don't drink much anymore, man. It's just because I got them goals.
I listened to all. So you're in college then, or in university?
Yeah.
Going to be an engineer.
Yep.
And on the weekends, you're staying up DJing at nights.
From Friday, sometimes Thursday, till Sunday.
You had to be on top of your stuff then.
Dude, I had my best friend, like one of my best friends still to this day, Biggie, like he supported me hard through university. He was always helping me. Because when you're an engineer, you learn fast. You can't be like sitting there reading the same paragraph for 2 hours because you'll get so far behind. You had to be able to throw a dart, understand where it landed, and go, right? And Biggie was the king of explaining stuff, high level, to the point. The rest is filler. And so he would just poop, 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 poop. And he would, like, I don't know how to say it, he'd hold my fucking hand. And he helped me. And I said, like, if we would have had a yearbook for university, like grads, I would have said, pretty sure my name should have been like Biggie in here, not mine. And he knows it. Like, he helped me out huge, right? But we were like best friends, and I owe a lot to him because he would see me go out and hustle this, but then we got to do a lot of cool shit on the side from it, right? So it wasn't like he didn't even have to ask. He'd come to a club, yo, I'm Big Mike. Oh yeah, you're always on the guest list, get in here, so he could come in with whoever the hell he wanted. So it was kind of a paid forward.
I listened to this and I go,
until one night he got beat up real bad and like broke like a rib, but yeah, but that shit happens, right?
Oh, that's club life,
yeah,
isn't it?
It is club life.
I listen to all this and I hear obviously you're talented, right? Like, I don't think there's any denying that. It takes some serious gumption to get up every morning and run, and not just run a K and, sweat a little bit and say that was a hard day, put a filter on and carry on, right? Like, and even that takes some work.
Man, how shitty are my filters though?
I don't know.
Fuck, I'm terrible. Fuck, I'm terrible, Adam.
Listen here. I don't get social media. I literally just found out a couple nights ago. I was talking to Quick Dick, who is a Saskatchewan guy, and he tells me he's on TikTok, and I'm like, you're on TikTok? Like, really? And he's like, I sound old. Every young person is like, oh, this old geezer. But I get it. I kind of get it. But he's like, yeah, I had like one video, and then all of a sudden I had 10,000 new followers in one day, and I'm like, I just don't. I don't
get it either.
I don't get it.
Me neither. I don't have TikTok. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what the purpose of it is.
I don't know. And I'm the complete opposite. You already know this. I said at the start, I like throwing my phone down there, not staring at it for the rest of the time. I just like a good conversation.
Me too.
And there's nothing beats it. You get a high off of probably DJing. You get a high off of running. I get a high off of talking to people. It is the weirdest thing. I will have problem going to sleep tonight because I come home after talking to somebody from 2 hours, and you'd think your jaw'd be sore and you'd be just like, I gotta go to bed. Instead, I'm just like, I'm a rocket. It's a natural high.
Just straight to bed. Rocket.
That's right. Hello, hon.
Hello. God, I had a good interview again tonight. Oh, baby. No, but my favorite filter, though, on the side note, is the LGBTA. Like, they got all those filters, and people can judge for whatever they want. But I have a lot of friends in that circle of LGBTA. So now that there's a filter, if you ever see me, I'm just always like, I think it's just because it's the first one there. Boom, LGBTA filter. And it's got the disco lights going on in the background. I'm like, oh, I love this.
You gotta, I'm a kid from Helmond. What, LGBTA now? What is the A?
LGBTA.
A.
Alliance.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that what it is?
Yes. I was like on a board for LGBTA in like the area, just because, man, like I said, I fucking love everyone. I don't care. And we'll go back to, and this will be good because it goes into this long run. I don't care. People make fun of me because I don't see genders. I don't see colors. I don't see sexes. I see everyone for who they are and how they carry themselves. Driven, humble, caring, laughter, just things that describe a person. I don't care what you are. And all my friends, they just think it's funny because I have such a wide open circle of friends and we get along so well. We're all brothers and sisters. Love every one of them. And they all know it. I don't hang up the phone when I talk to someone like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, yeah. Say, okay, check you later. Yeah, love you, bye. Like everyone. It's always like that. And to show my support for that, people were like, that they were looking for people to be on the board, help run small events. Fuck, ran like, 5,000, 10,000 person events. How hard can a fucking pancake breakfast be? And you know what? Just sign up and just straight volunteer. Do those events for LGBTA wherever I could. And just to show my support for them. Because a lot of people are scared. Like, and dude, I wear skinnier jeans than probably your wife. Like, and no offense to that, but like people make fun of me all the time. Like, yo, you wearing Kenita's pants again? I'm like, yo, Kenita's 5 feet tall. Like, these be capris, bro. Like, yeah, they're tight. Yeah, I get it. But like, then you throw that guy on the board and then he's running the pancake breakfast. So then you get weird eyes. I'm like, dude, look at me all day long, because then it puts me in how they feel. And I just shrug it off. Could care less. Judge me as much as you want. Because at the end of the day, I'm super happy. I got my friends. I don't need people to judge me for that dumb shit. So it's just my way of showing the support. And then going a little farther, that 100K run, someone came up and said, yo, there's this backyard ultra, 6.7 kilometers every hour on the hour till you die. And I'm like, sounds pretty fucking cool. I'm in. Like, let's do it. So we set it all up. And then one of my really good friends in Calgary, who's like a brother, I grew up with him, I lived with him and his family. He's really the protester going on for George Floyd and everything in the States and BLM. And Ollie is really strong with the Black Lives Matter. Ollie's my brother. Whatever he's strong about, I'm strong about. So then all my friends in Saskatoon, some of the Indigenous community and all these other communities, LGBTAs again, right? They are all speaking up now. So it's like a racism, sexism. It's basically about judging anybody, right? So then I'm like, I'm going to collab it with the run. I don't really give a fuck now about this backyard ultra. Like, I don't care about it. Someone's going to whoop my ass 10 ways from Sunday. So I'm just going to go out there and say, I don't get it. I'm listening. And in order for me to voice my opinion, I can't go protest. Lloyd had which is awesome. They had 20 people on the highway.
Yeah, right across from Cop Shop.
Awesome. I'm glad they did it. Didn't even know about it till I saw it like 2 days later. I'm like, fuck, like I've looked like an idiot, but whatever. So then I'm like, I can't protest, so I'm going to run for as long as I can with end racism on my back to show. Just because I couldn't make the protest, I'm going to beg myself clean to prove. And I'm not going to quit for nothing until my body says you're done. And then that's where that 100K or 123 or whatever ran, like 19 hours later. And you know what? When I stopped, it really disappointed me, because when I stopped, I wasn't tired. My legs didn't hurt. I had a fucking tendon issue on the top of my left foot. Like, how shitty is that? I kind of felt bad, but my wife...
How long did you go for?
120, 123.7.
Is that the longest you've ever ran?
Man,
and won?
Yeah, my longest run before that was like a couple weeks before that, I crushed out 42 on a Saturday just to see if I could even run that. So I did 21, 28s, 30s, 28s, 5s, 15s, 40, 10, 10, 10, 10, 123.
Okay, I got two thoughts rolling through my brain. One is the racism thing. I'm going to put that over there just for a second.
Yeah, let's pocket that one.
Just for a second. When I watch you on the running thing, I always think, gee, and I think this is a line from my brother when we were biking, but gee, if you just, and for biking terms, if you hop on the bike and just start pedaling, you never know where you get to. You think in a year and a half, in a year and a half's time, you're running 120 some kilometers in one day, one sitting.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking impressive, man.
I gotta run to Saskatoon now. Like, I gotta.
I don't see why you don't.
I don't see what's holding me back. I gotta try. It's optimistic, but I gotta try.
What is
Fuck
that,
it.
240 something?
239 or something, maybe a little more, 260.
Need Paul Bergen here, you could tell me.
Yeah, dude. So, fuck, man, how were we weren't friends before that? I would have came out and I would have ran as far as I could when he did that.
Well, I'm sure he's going to do, we all know COVID kind of ruined a lot of different things
For
this
sure.
summer, right?
Yeah.
He'll get it going again, and when he does, I'm sure he'll be looking for people all over the place. But
yeah.
that was the longest I'd ever walked in a day. We walked 49 or 47K.
That's a haul.
That was a haul. You were doing this on the asphalt, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's hard on the...
It's hard on your whole body.
It's hard. You don't think of walking as hard. You walk 47K, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would have been proud of me. Took the wife for our anniversary. Our 6th wedding anniversary was on the 2nd. Took her to Banff.
Yeah.
And so we go to Lake Louise, right? Stay in Banff. We're going to drive to Lake Louise. We want to go tour out, see. She's never been there before. She's from Minneapolis. So get there at 9 in the morning. And there's every parking lot is full. I mean, it is like, I don't even know what to say about it. The traffic is something straight out of like Christmas Eve or something. I'm like, it's 9 in the morning. What is going on? So can't get in. So we just start driving to Jasper. We're like, first place we see, we'll pull over and we'll do a little hike. Well, we stop at this one place. We end up hiking 19 kilometers, 18, 9 in, 9 out.
Yeah.
And got to a stone throw from the top of a mountain. And the only reason I had an excuse that day.
Oh, come on, let's hear it.
I was in running shorts with like just nice little, I don't know,
Like
Nike,
stilettos?
Nike, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wife with me, and we had 1 liter of water.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we did 18 kilometers on 1 liter of water in running shoes while everybody else had hiking poles and hiking boots. And I don't know the accent. My wife said maybe German, but we're coming down, right? And we got to the point where we could, like, I'm telling you, if it was flat, you would have been there in 30, 40, 50 seconds of just a nice brisk walk. But it was so steep, and our feet kept sliding, and you're kind of like, this probably isn't safe anymore. And you're tired, and you got no water to walk 9 kilometers or out, right? And anyways, we get down part way, and this old guy comes up, and he goes, "You hike up there?" I'm like, yeah. Looks me up and down like that. And I'm like, yeah. Bravo. And just carries on walking. And I'm like, I'm completely out of here. Like, I'm not supposed to be back here. But I thought
the running community.
That's no excuses for you.
It is, and I'm proud of you.
I thought of you when I was sitting on top of the
How
mountain.
did you not send me a photo?
Oh, that's a good question. I probably posted one maybe. I don't know.
You probably did. I didn't see it.
No, I got to be honest. I try really hard to disconnect from, like, I don't, I know there's a book out there, or you could go to a class, or you can do whatever, and you can get on social media, and it's like, listen, if you post it this time and this time and this many times,
God.
you're going to break down the system. And I'm like,
The
that's
algorithm,
great.
You'll get it.
I want to punch myself twice in the face. It's just, you talk about Stevie Aoki DJing, and like all he does is sleep DJ, party, sleep DJ, whatever, right? That's a tough lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think if in order to be successful at doing something like this, I have to post like 4 or 5 times a day at certain times to ensure that I make it. When I'm doing it, I'm cool being
Good.
a Lloyd kid and working here. And if it goes somewhere else because it's just good and people like it and somehow it gets found,
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things I can do or you can do, right, to help promote ourselves.
Yeah. Like, how many people do we got tagged?
I don't know, about 1,000.
And then what? You just make them so small no one can click on them? Like, what is... And that's what I mean, man. People are too driven by... If you have good content, you have good drive, and you are just focused, people are going to see through it, and they're going to tag on for the ride. Consistency is the one thing that social media can't tell you, right?
100%.
You got to be consistent. No excuses.
Rain or shine, you gotta just, if you say you're releasing something Monday, I'm a Monday, Wednesday.
Monday, Wednesday, you gotta have some. I fail. because I was supposed to do podcasts every 2 weeks. Summer
Hey.
hits. I trained too hard.
No excuses. What the hell is going on?
There's no fucking, I got no time. I need another 3 hours per day to get this dealt with.
I released the Brothers Roundtable, number 5. That would have been episode like 102, I think. And we were in here until like 11 at night recording it. And then after that, I've had a couple of scotches and I had to like try and get it all put out. So I'm in here till like 1 a.m. And I wake up in the morning and my picture says episode Brothers Roundtable number 4. And then in the actual audio, it says number 5. And then I have another picture that says number 4. And I had people text me going, is it number 4 or is it number 5? This is so messed up. I'm like, I was tired, full of scotch. Leave me alone.
But people are listening.
Oh, yes, they are.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's...
So you got engagement.
But consistency, going back to it, I don't think if there's one thing that I watch that I enjoy about you, right? Because if it was no excuses and then 2 weeks went by and you weren't there, it wouldn't carry the same weight. What's cool about it is you just flick it on and you just know it's going to be sitting there, right?
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
Sometimes I miss them though, and people beat me up and I say, yo, I actually ran like...
But that means you just said people people are paying attention.
I know.
That's pretty cool.
Follow me on Strava. Like you'll see it. Literally GPS
what
is
the
everything.
Hell is Strava?
It's like an Instagram for all types of athletes. Anything that you want to do like physically active, tracks you, shows you your GPS, where you ran, how you ran, your speed, your time, how fast you paddleboarded, how fast you biked, how fast you swam. It tracks you. You got to have like a smartwatch, you know. So it instead of photos, you can post a photo, but beside your photo will show your actual like GPS coordinates of what you did.
So it's a running thing.
So there's no bullshit. So when people are like, fuck, yep, he did. Oh, yeah, yep, no, he was there. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, he did it. And then it shows you your activities day and day, and it keeps track. So I started it because everyone said you got to get on Strava, and at the time there wasn't a ton. And then I found out it actually kept such good stats. I could see my progression. And then as I started getting more serious about running, then I could be like, okay, so one day I did this and my heart rate was that. So what did I do wrong? Tweak it the next time I try that same like training day, and my heart rate would fluctuate. Okay, I'm on the right path. Then the next day, do it. Okay, oh yeah, that plus some, because with running, efficiency is everything. You will keep driving for efficiency. I got to bend my knees half a degree more when I plant my foot.
You talk about Ross Thompson. We said we bring up Ross. Is there a mentor program or a way to go to like a class about how to run? So I don't know. I just think Lloyd of like hockey has elite hockey training, right? So goaltenders have goaltending training.
There's a lot of shit online that you could do. Nike run clubs. There's all these apps and stuff, but an app isn't as good as someone physically seeing you. So Ross has been a triathlete for multiple years, and the guy is like, in all honesty, he's a monster, dude. Like bike, run. He's the most consistent dude ever. The only time he has an excuse is he's so ill. Like he's sick. And I've only seen it once out of the year and a half that he's missed training because he was super sick.
Do you get sick anymore?
It comes and goes. I run through it because I find it flushes my body and I feel good. But like I said, rest is everything. Lots of water, vitamins.
How much water are you drinking a day?
I'm a little dude, so my body can absorb 4 ounces every 15 minutes. So I've met this is how serious I am, man. This is how serious. Listen here. I don't do shit half-assed. Let's put it this way. Anything I'm going to do, I'm going to figure
110%.
No, 300.
Okay.
Has to always be. I can hold 3 ounces of water comfortably in my mouth without being like the blowfish, like expanded. So if I can hold 3 ounces from a squirt, so then when I'm running, I don't have to calculate how much water I've taken in, you know. 1 good mouthful, 3 ounces. 2 good mouthfuls, 6 ounces. So I'm good.
So you're saying if you drink too little, too much water, that affects how you run?
Heart rate just fucking all over the place. And that's the one thing. You don't want to produce lactic acid. You don't want to. You're trying.
And you learned that all from just running
So Mackenzie Brown, him and his wife run Couch to 5K with Carrie Mace here in Lloydminster, and so they're doing what you wanted. You were saying, right? Nike Run Club has all these apps. Everything's cool. Human interaction's unreal. So the 3 of these individuals came together and says, let's do this. Oh, and Chris Bogue, I can't leave him out. The 4 of them started this Couch to 5K, they called it, right? So anyone that wanted to learn how to run, small program, we're going to start you little. We're just going to walk 1 kilometer tonight, right? Next time you come, we're going to run 100 meters. We're going to walk 200, run 100, whatever they had. They had a schedule every Wednesday night. So they did this. So I met Mackenzie through there, and Mackenzie had the shit dialed in. He had the physics of running, like for his form, for who he was, dialed. So I took him, I took Ross Thompson, I took a dude named Brian Stevenson, who's like a really good friend of mine. And he's been like, when he grew up, he was like on Team Canada for skiing. So he knew a lot of like the endurance side of stuff. He knew VO2 max, like the best way to do it is you gotta poke your finger while you're fucking almost out of breath, running on a treadmill, 200 miles per hour. And then they have to see how much oxygen's in your blood. Like he was crazy, like to do like that stuff. So he knew the science. So what I did is I took everyone's shit, read like 6 books. And I was like, boom. I read books on anatomy of the brain, neurology, psychology, like just not like how to like manipulate people, how to manipulate yourself and what your brain does to do that. Books on running form, books on other runners and how they got to where they were. So like, that's what I mean. I take everything 300. You want to do it, fucking do it.
You know, it's eerie. And I thought this when we talked the first time, is the way you talk about running is the way I look at interviewing somebody and I bounce all around tonight. But I'm an instigator of this. True, but I actually enjoy the style with you. It's very fun. It's brain teasing. Yeah. But when you talk about reading books and studying and that kind of thing, I do that with podcasting. I listen to so many podcasts. I read, if I find somebody I like, you try and dig it, go down the rabbit hole of what have they done, how did they do it, have they put anything out, read their things, try their techniques, see what works, see what doesn't work, and it's a constant involvement into trying to get better. So I really get that. Yeah. It's a really cool mindset.
You have to, man. If you want to do something and you want to make it worth your viewers' time, like, I haven't heard anything. Dude, I think this is a tire pump for you, sure, but you deserve to hear this stuff. I have lots of people that were my bosses in the past, still really good friends, and they're like, hey, Mike, you have a podcast? Yeah. You should check out Sean Newman. And I'm like, yo, dude, Redden, Bart, have you listened to mine? No, I haven't got around to it, but fucking I know religiously Bart is listening to yours, and I love Bart. So you're grabbing the attention from, him. People are seeing it, people are loving it, no matter who you're doing. So it shows in your viewers. If not, they would be dine and dash. Boom, see you later, I'm out of here, right? And you have to show them that you are focused and driven. People can see it. And same thing with running, and I'll go out and critique people. I'll help people with shoe demos. So people that I don't know reach out to me daily. And, for me being so busy, I try my best to someone will randomly send me a message, just a DM that I won't see. And it'll be 2 weeks later. And I see them oh shit. And they're like, hey, you're the Nike guy. What Nike shoes do you wear? Do you like these ones? And then I say, here's the engineering. Oh, yeah. Did you talk to an engineer? No, I'm an engineer. I literally cut one of these motherfuckers in half and tested them. That's how my head rolls. I have to sell it to myself before I can sell it to you. So then I'm like, there's the reaction of the foam is this and this and this and this and arch support, blah, blah, blah. Because I've done all the research. And they're just I think they just literally fucking right from my chat read to Nike to purchase, and just, man, it's gotta work. But again, I'm biased for Nike because Nike works extremely well with me. Nike hooks me up with some stuff. So I love Nike shoes. And like I said when I came in here, everywhere I go, I gotta have something that fits the bill. And a lot of that is Nike.
Well, I wasn't going to cut you off, but I appreciate the compliments. Yeah. I get very weirded out by getting that type of praise. Do
you want a hug?
No, I enjoy.
We'll hug after, sure. With faces not toward each other.
I enjoy what I do. I truly think this. In saying that, I don't know how better to. I say this all the time. If people didn't enjoy it, and there's only, I don't even know. I guess if there's
only three dudes that troll you every time. No,
that's right.
Yeah. Three fucking dudes.
But I really like to get to know people and hear their story. And it's just kind of cool for people to. I get two things, right? I get, man, I really like your stuff. Man, your stuff is 2 hours long. How the heck do you expect me to get through that? I don't know, man. Like, if you don't want to get through it, that's cool. Get lots of apologies because people aren't up to date. And I'm like, well, you already said it when you walked in. You're doing 3 a week. I'm not doing 3 a week, but I get
2.5, bro.
2.5. It's a lot. But I enjoy it. It's I tell the story that up until this year, I was playing hockey, senior hockey, 3-4 times a night in a week.
Yeah.
So 4 nights a week, I'm giving up just as much time into senior hockey, and all I've done is I've got no senior hockey. Might as well be doing something you love.
Rolling the podcast. And you know what? One thing you said to me when you were with me is, you know what? If Dubz isn't your thing, just wait till the next one. I love that. Like the positive look. Oh man, come on, you gotta listen. I need the views. They're like, no, dude. If Mikey Dubz or Earl weren't your jam, get with Gordy Redden. You know, like
get with I don't know, Braden Holtby was just on, right?
Exactly.
But then right after I did Braden Holtby, I think it was like 2 later, it was Spiro.
Yeah.
Right? And I tell you what, I enjoyed Braden Holtby, but I'm assuming you know Spiro. His story is like,
man, he's got some history.
Ugh. It's just,
it's crazy.
Anytime I sit down with somebody who's experienced life, and I don't, the young people think I'm old. The old people call me a youngin, and I just consider myself a youngin, right? Like I'm not that old compared to the people I sit down with on Sundays.
So are you saying everyone you interview is old?
Compared to me?
Yeah, just kidding.
Honestly, how many young guys do I do? Right? I've done a few.
But you learn from people with experience.
With experience. They got 100%. Stories to tell, lessons to give you.
Yeah.
Perspective, everything.
Well, that's like me training with Ross. Same shit. Dude's like fucking 100%.
100%. I told you this when you did the interview with Mac. I said, listen to the interview with Mac. I'm like, you got to get Ross on. Oh, my God.
Everyone says it, though. Every episode.
That sounds freaking awesome.
But you know what, Mac, I might be bastardizing, but Mac's young, dude. Like, and he's got a lot of knowledge for running. But then I think I realized Mac put the time in, and then he got it from people he was surrounded with. And then I'd see Ross, and I go, you got it from this old, I always, this old motherfucker. Like, Ross explained to me how T-Rexes and Raptors fought, because he saw it. So this is what we talk about when me and Ross run, and he's so nice. Fuck off, Mike. That's all he says. Laughing, but it's just like, how many clicks are we gonna do? I don't know. Let's try to get at least a fifth of Ross's age, and then we'll bang out 30. Shit like that. So he's such a good trooper, and man, like you said, experience, and it's just. I don't know. But a lot of my friends that are young, I don't know. Everyone, like you said, everyone's got a cool story. You can learn from anybody about anything at any time, because everyone, leave me at least an inch of that.
I left you like, I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's all I probably, but, and that's why I like the podcast. That's why I like listening to yours, because you interview people I wouldn't typically be on my list. And it's not that I don't think they're cool or they're super interesting. They're just, I don't know if I would have that. I could carry the conversation, but I'd be digging at times.
You have to be, I enjoy all different podcasts. The only ones that really, I just don't know how to get, they're fun, but they're at the same time, I'm like, is when they, it's like a 20-minute. It's what they do is they have somebody really smart on. I'm a history guy. So what they do is they take a 20-minute, they compress it to 20 minutes because people like something short, right? Yep. I get it. Then they bring on some really smart guy. He starts talking about, like, I don't know, how the pyramids were built, in theory.
Yeah.
And then what they do is, as he's talking, they slowly fade him out, and the guy comes on and goes, listen, what he's going to tell you is it took about 2,000 years, and they, like, shorten it up to, like, 10 seconds. And I'm like, I don't want to hear you, like, sum it up. I want to hear this guy talk about it.
Yeah.
Heck, I almost want to just turn you off now because you've just totally screwed the pooch on the entire podcast. But people like that. They like condensed.
Yeah.
And if...
people's time is money, right? Like, they don't have time. And
No. But, let's say this. People think they don't have time. You make time for whatever you prioritize.
100%. I agree.
So if you wanna sit on the couch and drink a beer and watch the hockey game, and I know I'm talking to a lot of my listeners because a lot of guys are sitting and watching
Fucking
the playoffs.
like 8 games in a row or whatever
That's
they're
right.
doing right now.
I got nothing against it, but that's how you prioritize your time.
Yeah.
Right? Like I've taken off for Vancouver here to go do a bunch of interviews. Super excited about it.
Yeah.
Got to read 5 books in the next 2.5 weeks. And somebody goes, "How are you going to do that?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to do it."
I'm not sure, but I'm going to get it done.
Yeah, I'm going to get it done. I enjoy reading.
5 interviews.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm pumped about it.
What do you just getting it done, just going?
Oh, yeah.
Can't spoil alert, right?
Oh, sure I can. I'm not worried about it. I was worried about letting Ron McLean slip because that one was...
You wouldn't even tell me, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anyone.
And you know what? The best part is he might not even know who this dude is.
Everybody knows in Canada who Ron
yeah,
McLean
that's true.
is,
That's
right?
true.
I mean,
that's true.
I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I got 5 interviews lined up. This is not supposed to be about me. This is supposed to be about you.
Yeah, no, but this is cool.
I had a trip lined up to Kelowna for earlier in the year, so the wife and I could go and I could bang out a few that I really wanted. My dad's cousin survived the perfect storm. Was in one of the ships, one of the only ships, a Chinese fishing vessel, and that survived the perfect storm. Came out of it.
Yep.
Oh, you're seeing the fatal flaw of the studio. She's warm.
Dude, and I'm wearing like a full-blown sweater.
Sean knows best. He's wearing shorts and sandals because he knows about this. So I've wanted to get her on for a full-on since I started this. I think whether or not it's as amazing in my mind or not, I've listened to her talk about it a couple times, and I'm like, I just need to get this. I just need to get this. And then, she got breast cancer last year.
Oh,
and
shit.
I went through what happens if the worst case scenario played out?
Yeah.
And now COVID's going on, and she's not 20,
No.
right? I'm going like, I just got to go, right? Like, you just got to go.
Yeah.
And so a couple things lined up and going to bomb out there and hammer off a few.
Good.
But going back, the whole point of this is people prioritize their time.
Yep.
So everybody says time is money. They only got so much time. They only fuck off. Like, I mean that seriously.
Yeah, I know.
You prioritize your time how you want.
For sure.
So if you want to run 100 kilometers, you can hear it when you talk. Your focus is on tuning your body to the absolute top notch, but that means running a ton, biking, just all that. And that's what your life is focused around.
Yeah.
Some guy is not worried about running. He just wants to show up and earn a paycheck. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
Nobody's saying there's anything wrong with it. But if that's what you want to do, that's how you prioritize your time. And so when I hear people say, they don't have 2 hours to give you, you just haven't. If it meant something to you, you'd figure it out. Like, I mean, I really like Joe Rogan. And when I don't drive a lot, then I'll start listening to it when I walk in the morning. Or I'll start listening to it when I do dishes. And I don't like listening to things when I do dishes other than like maybe a little... Lately, it's been Coulter Wall. I just like a little bit of folk in the back, and it's fantastic, right? But if it really means something and there's a cool interview, you find time to do anything you want.
For sure.
The Oiler game's on tonight. But I'm supposed to be at the anniversary dinner. How am I going to pull this off? Well, if we go here at 9 instead of this time, we can make it work. That's how you do that. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
But you get in your way. The coach to 5K, I think it's brilliant because I think people, when it comes to 5 kilometers, they think 5 kilometers, man, that's a long way. That really isn't. Like, you walk 5K in probably, an hour?
Yeah. It depends on your walking.
Fair. Hour and a half then?
9 kilometers. I walk 9 minutes per kilometer. Actually, 8:56 to be exact.
8:56 for a walk.
If I were to just be walking.
Let's go 2 hours of light walk, and you could have a 5K done.
No, I'd have that done 5.
No. I know you would, but I'm saying for somebody who's just sitting there listening to this going, 5K is way too much. It's like
60 minutes you'd have one banged out. Doesn't matter who you are.
Okay, there you go. In an hour. Is an hour going to kill anyone? No, probably not. And you know what it does after you do the 5K?
Encourages you to do it again.
Actually, you're like, shit, I can actually do some things. Like, I just did a 5K. That is like, you don't need somebody to tap you on the back for that. It's like 5K. All right.
I know. And that's what I love. And that's what I love about, and man, people hate listening to runners because fuck runners will talk about running, run. Kenita always laughs. Hey, so Kenita's my wife. Her friends be like, yo, what's Mike doing? Run. And they just laugh because if they ask me, Mike, what are you up to this weekend? Run. Like that's all. Like that's just my life. But they know I don't just run. Like I don't run and then go home and pit in. Dude, Sean, I am on the board of so many fucking things that it never ends. Like when you said Wednesday, I literally was shifting shit all over the place to hit 8. Well, and then I missed my run this morning.
Well, I appreciate
So I go
you
to
doing
work
that.
early to get off at what I think is early, 4:30. I think that's probably like, I go in at 6 to get off at 4:30 to bang out that run to get here.
And I appreciate that.
But I had to shift other things around, in 2 weeks. And this is a super plug because I think this is fucking cool. In 2 weeks, I am the guest DJ for Dr. Jody Garrington. We talked about it, right?
Yeah.
So Jode is like, she's like almost like family to me, but she needed a DJ. So she brought me into a Women's Day? I can't remember. She had like 1,000 women in Camrose in a hall. And I was like, she's like, I need a DJ. I'm like, will you DJ? I want to try something with you. I want you to be my Twitch. I'm Ellen. Right? Jody's huge. She's blowing up, man.
I tell you what, if there's going to be a lot of men going, who? Just ask your wife if they know who
dude,
that
if
is,
you don't
and
know
they
who Jody Carrington is. And dudes.
No. Guys aren't going to. Let's just be very clear. The only reason I know who she is because of my wife has showed me videos of, oh, okay. And
but honestly,
it's kind of weird that I knew about that a month ago.
Yeah.
But that's because of my wife.
So anyone listening that goes, who is this chick? A, ask your wife. B, look her up online because she's fucking hilarious. She's a motivational speaker. She's helping the teachers of today be better for tomorrow, young kids these days, blah, blah, blah. She's got a list that goes on and on. She's super funny. She sends me coffee mugs in the mail that goes, I love pretty little things and the word fuck. I give them out. Give them out to people I know. Chicks that follow her go like.
Well, disappointed you didn't bring one of those in here
dude,
today.
I don't have any. And I'll text Jody as soon as I leave. I'll get you a fucking list of mugs. And every hockey dude and everyone else that comes in, you're going to have Dr. Jody Carrington, be nice fucker, is like her new mug.
I should have pointed out my wife's a teacher, and that's why. Anyways.
I'll get your wife a mug. I promise you. Jode, I'm calling you because I'm going to. Anyways, 2 weeks, I'm doing this big show with her, and she's sold thousands of tickets. And it's a virtual show. They rented out like a global studio.
Yeah.
They're redoing the green room. So I have a room. She has a room. Mr. D ×3, this dude from the LGBTA comedian from Seattle's coming up. He all of a sudden just followed me on Instagram and was like, yo, Mikey, I'm so excited. I'm like, boom, we're going to kick this off, dude. And he's like, dude, what song are you going to play? I'm like, Len, Don't Steal My Sunshine. He goes, we'll be friends. Like, but that's how quick that conversation went. Like, is that the first song you would have just said to some dude that has like 500,000 followers? Like, let's see what your flavor is here real quick. And like, it's like fuck, everyone loves that song. Anyone listening to this song, if I saw you in a club 4 years ago and I was DJing and I played that song, I promise you wouldn't have stopped dancing. Promise. I challenge people.
You get me in a club, you can play whatever you want, and I'm probably not gonna stop dancing.
But some people be like, God, it's a stupid song.
Yeah, but those people kind of.
No, but then I catch them out,
Yeah.
and I'm like, dude.
I know, but
this video of you,
they're
it's
the
stupid.
Same people who probably say, you know what, give me a pop star, Justin Bieber.
Oh,
Let's go, Justin Bieber.
Biebs.
Right? They'll probably say Bieber, what a loser. But man, he's got some catchy tunes, man. Like
he's talented. You can't deny it.
Extremely talented.
So you're telling me these people are like, fuck Justin Bieber. He walks in to your house. You're having supper. You're going to go get you out of my house right now. Now, I guarantee you're starstruck like every other person that's ever met.
I don't know what I'd say to Bieber. Bieber walked in.
Super quiet, super
okay,
humble.
but here's where I become. I'm the weird guy now. Okay, here's the only time I think that I can remember that I was starstruck. Okay, and I get to interview him when I go to Vancouver along the way, which isn't that far. is Daryl Sutter. And
Nice.
people are going to be, oh, that's sweet, right? But
Viking.
we were at the Bruce Stampede. My sister married a guy from Viking. And we're at the Bruce Stampede, and up walks Daryl Sutter in his, just cowboy gear, typical farmer, like just whatever. And my girlfriend, who's my wife now, at the time, is, watching me do this. And it's me and my oldest brother, my brother-in-law, and they're talking to Daryl Sutter, and I'm there. And I like shake his hand. I couldn't spit anything out. Like, I want you to think of, like, literally, I was like, nice to meet you. Like, I don't even know if I got that out, right? And I walked back over, and my wife was like, what was that? I mean, everybody knows me. I'm a talkative guy. There's very few guys.
Yeah.
Paul Bissonnette, who, whether you love or hate him, whatever, he's super. That didn't starstruck me. Daryl Sutter, covered in cow shit and whatever. I couldn't literally get out, hey, how's it going? And that's me getting starstruck. Bieber walked in, my eyes would lift, for sure they would. I wouldn't kick him out.
One of the most popular people in the world. Just like,
I know, but for everybody, what I'm getting at, for everybody, it's a little different, right?
Yeah.
Like you were just you were saying, my in-laws didn't know who Ron McLean was. So if Ron McLean walked into their house,
they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know, and they'd probably be like, "You need to get out of here."
Yeah.
Ron McLean would probably love that, right?
Yeah.
Bieber, you're right. He's pretty much a global.
I got something for you. Justin Bieber's outside. So look at now you. What? Better get that third fucking mic out. Let's go.
Listen, if Bieber's sitting outside, I'll put a mic there.
Yo, Jay, come in.
He can't have any pig launcher though because
it's all gone.
It's all gone.
So starstruck.
Who have you got starstruck by?
I got one guy, only one dude.
Okay.
The resume of people I've got to DJ with and perform with and all this is huge, and I actually can't remember everybody. But Daryl Sutter, I think it was last year, we beat his team, just smoked him. Viking Bonspiel curling. And he was looking at me the whole time because he goes, who's the fucking skinny dude? Like skinny jean
wearing
curler.
A piece of love hat.
Dude, yeah, no lie. And my partner, little they know, was like just fucking one of my best friends too, just deadly curler. Like he's in every fucking league from here to, I don't know, Nova Scotia. Like he's in it all. So he's our skip. It all comes down to him. We toss rocks. He cleans up at the end. We put him in bad spots and he somehow pulls it through. But we've won the Oilmans in Lloyd.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah. We've never not got a plaque. Every year we get a plaque. And I'm just that dude. But I also got like Monty Armstrong, like longtime oilman. He's curled forever. He's really good. Cobes is on. So this dude, Skip Cobes, Monty's son Tyson. But in Viking, we go down there with my wife and his wife, and it's mixed. And we enter in. And my mom's boyfriend, he's from Viking. So he gets us a team. And we end up, I think we got second. Somehow, I can't remember. The ice down there is a little bit sketchier. It's like in a barn, right? Like, so it's a little sticky. We're not used to it, whatever. But we played Daryl Sutter, and it was nothing. Like, because it was like for you and me, I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, I know who he is. Meh. We're just playing some dude. He's wearing a Blackhawks jersey. Cool, sweet, good for you. Let's curl. We're here to curl. And so this year, if we go, you can come with me.
So who did you get starstruck by then?
Dude, this is a good one. So
you'd give me the Daryl Sutter. I want to know who you're starstruck by.
Daryl Sutter. Okay, yeah, not Daryl Sutter.
Well, I'm like, wait a second. Did we just both say Daryl Sutter? That's kind of strange.
Yeah. Travis Barker.
Okay.
I have loved Travis Barker since early Blink days when he had like the little spiky hair, drummer, badass looking punk dude, right? Kind of like pop punk star. Right?
I want to point out how funny it is. I get starstruck by an old farmer. You get starstruck by a punk drummer.
Yeah, seriously. But everyone's different, man.
100%.
So this is a funny story. I actually thought about this one. I was like, man, I kind of hope we go to, somehow I get on to TB. So I'm DJing at a club, Travis Barker's after party. He asks his managers to get in touch with someone that finds me to DJ this after party. Again, thousands of people, clubs right jam-packed, shoulder to shoulder. So he's in this VIP booth to the side, and then picture this in here. So DJ booth right in the middle, in front of everyone on stage. VIP booths to both sides. Travis is in my right side, and to the right of him is a bar for like direct access for people like in that VIP booth to get alcohol. So I'm DJing. Haven't said nothing to T since he's been there. And he comes in and he's there, and I'm like looking over. I'm like, holy fuck, Travis Barker's actually here. And in my head, like my palms are sweating. Because this dude is like one of the best, most well-respected artists in the industry. Like even that Joe Rogan podcast, you hear fucking Posty. Man, Travis Barker is just almost number one. Like they all say it. Joe Rogan said one of his favorite interviews was TB. Like he's just such a humble dude. So anyways, he's standing here beside me. He's kind of standing there and he's taking pictures, trying to be nice, picture, sign, picture. And there's people just fucking lined up outside his VIP booth. So I'm DJing, and I'm like, God, I'm thirsty. I'm looking around, I'm like, God, nothing to drink. There's a million people around the DJ booth because they're trying to get to Trav. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do? And I can't leave because I'm trying to fanboy Trav, check me out. I'm playing all this cool shit. So I look over, and right when I look over, he looks at me, and I look at him and go, hey, you. And he's like, he kind of turns around. He looks back at me. Me? I was like, yeah. Can you get like me a vodka soda, vodka something? Turns back around, turns and looks at me. Me? I said, yeah. He literally goes, okay. Walks through the crowd of people with two of the biggest homies I've ever met or seen. I guess I met him after, but seen. Just pushing people out of the way. He walks over to the bar, orders a drink. The bartender is like this. Like she has no idea what's going on. Is he coming to order a drink? Like he's got so much, right? So he goes, he orders a drink, and then he looks at me, and I could tell in his eyes, I don't carry cash. I go, I got a tab, And he's just like, oh. And the girl didn't even ask him for money. She didn't even know what to do. She didn't know if it's for him or for who. She slides it to him. He takes it. He walks it politely, puts it in, he goes, if you need another drink, just let me know. And that kicked me and Trav. Right after the show, he waited outside in his bus for me. When I was done, went out there, hung out, chit-chatted, gave me his number, and dude, we talked for years. We went to LA. He met up with me in Con. Like, it was just like, could you imagine someone that you were so like, and you know what it was? He didn't see the starstruckness in me, right? He saw this dude is kind of treat me like, because at the end of the day, everyone's human, right?
They all put their pants on the same way.
If they have pants on, like,
fair.
I'm pretty sure half of his drumming things, he's in his like underwear back in the day, right? But it's how you like you look at people. I wasn't asking him for money. I wasn't asking him can you repost my photo so I can get followers from your followers? It was just, dude, I have followed you my whole life. I can't believe I'm meeting you right now. It's really cool. You're a real cool dude. That's how it went.
And it brings to mind, sometimes you don't want to meet your idols because they'll disappoint you.
They're fucked up. Yeah, some of them are.
But that's a cool story in that it didn't go that way.
No. And you know what? When we were talking, like he's had some crazy pasts for sure, but he's super clean now, vegan, no drinking, doesn't smoke weed, doesn't do anything.
You ever asked him, like, how tough was life being like that? Where you're in a club and you got a million people and
you can tell they're to the point. And maybe that's why I got along with a lot of these people, is because you get a million people throwing themselves at you. Fucking sign my shirt, do this, take a picture. Or the women
probably, or men for that matter,
yeah.
If it's a famous woman, right? Like just throwing themselves at them.
Like one after another. And, I think you just, I got a lot of best friends, because I can't sit one person on the best friend pedestal. Right? I never want to be someone's only best friend, because there's a lot of cool people you meet. Everyone's got to have multiple best friends, right? So one of my other best friends, I had 6 groomsmen at my wedding, and I had a hard time because there's like 3 dudes that I had to like have a sit down with them and be like, hey,
can I outdo you?
Yeah, but my wife cut me off. She goes, fuck Mike, the whole 8. My wife's like, well, the whole wedding will be your best men. And you have some girls up there too. You're going to have the best women up there. Like, shit.
I always told the wife, I always said, I got 3 brothers. You got to, like.
I need all of them.
You can't single out one brother, right? You can't just say,
No.
you're the only one.
Yeah. The rest
And
of
I can't not have them all. Like, I can't just go, no, sorry, guys. Like, most important day of my life, I'm not going to have the 3 brothers who've been around me all my life and continue to be around me all my life. So I can have 5. Like, yeah.
So how many bridesmaids did she match?
She had
right?
8.
See,
And when we were in, so we get married in Minneapolis, and we go down to downtown Minneapolis, and I forget the park, but it's the famous park with the cherry on the spoon in Minneapolis.
You're challenging me, and I know nothing.
Anyway, so we got this group that looks like, we got a football team. And then if you stare straight ahead, there's like those stairs that come down, these big wide stairs.
Yeah.
And down comes another football team of a married couple that had 16 with them. And we all looked at each other because we were trying to take photos. They were trying to take photos. And one of the guys leaned over and said, we might have to have a little
fight.
Yeah, a little rowdy out here, right? Like, it was unbelievable. Yeah, it was crazy. We had a 20-person limo. You
had to have a car behind.
If you've ever been in a 20-person limo, it's what, like 15 maybe?
Yeah.
We fit 21 in it. And I tell you, it was a freaking party. It was god dang.
So you know what I mean when I say I got this other best friend. So my one best friend, or another homie of mine, Mern, he grew up as a commerce student, and then he got into DJing from, he was hanging out with me, and then he was working at the bar, and then he became a DJ. And he became this phenomenally creative DJ. But he had the same sense as I. He never got starstruck, would be with Calvin Harris. Oh, what did you do tonight? Yo, Mern, what's up? Yeah, I'm just had DJ with Calvin Harris, and now I'm just going to go home. I'm tired. Cool story, bro. Call me in the morning and let's go skating.
I asked this last time. Whether it's your running, whether it's your job, whether it's just life in general. Where are you aiming to? Or do you want to run?
There's no limit.
What is next? Like, do you want to do 500,000 miles of running, or do you got a goal of like, listen, there's this marathon over in Tuktoyaktuk. That's what I want to do. But now the borders are closed, and now we're just gonna run
Commodores, for sure, in Africa.
Okay, let's.
It's 86
miles.
Clicks.
86 kilometers.
Cross from Johannesburg to
desert.
No, I think it's road. I think.
Okay.
But you have a time limit. If you don't make it, they fucking shut. So this is what I love. No participation ribbons for everybody. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to look at it, the details on it. But let's say it's 12 hours. If you don't make it in 12 hours, they shut the cattle corrals on the finish line. They open a little side gate, and bouncers stand along it, and you have to walk. You don't get to finish. It's the longest going ultra marathon in the world. A war vet had mental illness, and he got into running, and it changed him. So he started this race, and it's like the longest running ultra marathon ever, hundreds of years or whatever. And I'm surprised you don't.
I need to read a book on this.
Yeah, dude. I read a book on it. It's about it. It's called like the.
It doesn't matter.
I'll show you after. It's like the endurance athlete or something. It's a book, but listen to it on tape. It's this dude that's like trying to go through about being an ultra runner, and then he ends at Commodores and anything. Comrades, not Commodores, Comrades. Jesus, I fucking
that half a pink beer is really going to your head.
Holy shit! I'm just so excited about it because when I started running, I didn't know one race. I know like the Sea Wheezy or something. It was a Lululemon race in Vancouver. And I don't even think it's called the Sea Wheeze. I think it's called, I don't know what it's called. But that's my thing that's the one thing I will say. I am not driven by race. I'm driven by running. I love to run. I don't care what race. I'm not in race mode. People will only run to prepare for a race. I run because I fucking love running. I have no races to look forward to. Well, why are you training so hard? Man, because I want to see what my limit is. I want to see where it takes me. I want to see the people I meet. I want to see the people I encourage.
So do you ever see a day where you're not an engineer anymore? Like you just run and I don't know.
I'm super creative, right?
I know you got the clothing line.
Yeah.
Which, as people maybe they can see it over there. This has been bugging me since the day you gave it to me.
Peace of love, baby.
Okay, a piece of love, folks. On the front, it's a peace sign and a heart.
Yeah.
Okay. So why doesn't peace say peace with an A?
So my other half, Kev, who's like a super creative dude.
I take it you've been asked this question before.
100%.
Okay.
So we had peace first.
With an A.
Like the hippie symbol of peace,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, peace to all. The thing is, it's contradicting what we did with the peace as in break, because I'm trying to break you off a piece of love. But then our symbol has this.
The peace sign.
But that's because if you ever see me, I give you the peace sign always. I always have. I run. No lie, Sean. Did you see that story where I said...
You realize I've thought nothing about anything else about walking in here for 30 days. But why is it spelled with an I and not an A?
Because I'm trying to break love off for everyone, because no matter how fucking cool or awesome or successful you are, you're missing some love of some sort. And if it's me just giving you the peace sign, there's some love. So I'm breaking off a piece.
A piece. Okay.
Of love. I got so much fucking love,
I gotta be
dude.
honest. I
Take
had
some.
like 12 different scenarios in my head, and one of the scenarios was probably breaking. It's a piece. I get it, but it's the peace sign on the front. Peace of love. To me, I go.
Man, because we're super chill, and everything we do is for charity.
So all your hat sales go to charity?
Everything we do. This is something that drives me nuts. If you love something, you'll make time for it. I love peace of love. Everyone that knows me, I roll that shit on my back. I spend lots of my own money on it. Like me and Kev for the last 4 years, every dollar we made went into peace of love. So it was like guerrilla marketing. We would DJ, take the money, buy a shit ton of clothes that we would design and make.
Okay.
And support Canada. Kept it all in Canada just because we're trying to help the economy. From there, we would sell it. Whatever we made, we donated to fucking anything, man. People would we would have things like, hey, if you have a cool thing you want to donate to, get at us, and it was like, people are like, oh, my mom's going for some crazy spinal surgery. She got to GoFundMe. We're not that fortunate of a family, blah, 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 things like that.
And hit you at the heartstrings.
No, but the thing is, we would get a lot of these. So we'd have to do our background check. So we had to take some time, check in, this specific girl, check in on her, figure it out, understand, see what's going on. Boom, check the next day, $600. There you go. Boom, right into the GoFundMe. Calls, tears, everything. Next day, hey, Kev, baby grand piano for an elementary school for the less fortunate. Got a hold of us. They know what we do. They support us. You in? Fuck yeah, we're in. $1,500 check, $2,000 check. Here you go. So I spend on average, not in the summer. So summertime is training time. So everything I do is September to May, basically. I spend probably, it's like 100 hours a month in peace of love that I get zero for. I bought that hat and gave it to you. I bought that hoodie I'm wearing. I own the line. I bought it. I physically have to transfer money to my account to balance the sheets to buy a sweater because I can't take from something that we want to give from.
So what is it? Why?
Dude, karma. I think at the end of the day, with how crazy the world is and how much people judge each other, I just feel like one day, I'm going to have some karma that's going to help me or people around me. But dude, again, it comes down to the running. And it's not this. I ran after Peace of Love started. I love seeing people smile. I would give you my fucking shoes if I thought it would make a difference in your life. I'd give you anything, right? Because when you see someone smile, it's like a fulfillment to me. So Ronald McDonald House, I met a person that was at Ronald McDonald House. And they were just like, fuck, how good did they take care of us? This and that. And so I contacted, I just went out of my way, busy, right in the prime of DJing. I said, hey, I heard you, you guys, blah, blah, blah. Is there anything anyone could ever help you with? She goes, oh, Mike, I don't know where this list starts. And I said, just throw a few at me. And she goes, okay. So then she goes, we're a little strapped for funds for ABC, But the one thing that really stuck out to me is in the winter months, they're kind of like little strapped for their heating and utility bills, right? And I'm like, how can you house all these these people that need you when you can't, you're struggling to keep those bills on, right? I said, we're going to fix that. So I get a hold of Kevin. I say, fuck, we're DJing all month of October, Friday, Saturday. We're going to make a donation box. We're going to figure it out. All our funds going into the donation box. We're going to do this. And of course, Kevin's just like, yep, because he believes in good karma too. At the end of the month, we paid for their entire heating bill for the whole winter.
Ronald McDonald House.
In Saskatoon. Because I was like, boom. And I walked away. And this is what's funny. People go, you guys didn't even post about it. We don't have to.
I think I called my brother or we talked about it on the walk the next morning. And I'm struggling with it all over again. And I love to think if I'm struggling with it, somebody out there listening to this is struggling with it.
They're like, either this dude's fucking lying or they just want to see and we don't get tax receipts from it either. So I could show you e-transfers. You know what I mean?
No. I don't know. Fuck, you could be bamboozling me. Sure you could. I guess we've talked enough now that I don't think so.
Yeah.
I guess is what I get. I go 90, I don't know, now I'm going to pull a number out of my ass, but 95%, 99% of people believe they're playing the game of chess on the board for their life, right?
Yeah.
If I move here, this is the consequence, So when I hear you say, I work my fucking ass off, DJing all the time, and then building a clothing company to just give all that money back, I'm like, what the hell is that?
What the fuck's anyone that knows anything about business goes,
that's
stupid. He was stupid.
No, just that. Well, I don't know. I guess that's why I always ask. So where do you want to be? What do you want? Or are you're in the perfect spot right now, running. You're married,
dude. It's not even the perfect spot. There's better. It's just now Kanita's with me, and we're gonna go somewhere better. And getting married. And I always hear funny stories from people being like, oh, I got married and then they got divorced a week later, and they had their struggles and shit, and it happens. I just heard of one the other day, got married, I can't remember if it was guy or girl, they've been cheating on them, and now they're divorced, and it's sweet, it was a month and a half. Man, when I got married, I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And I'm a busy dude. I'm always just going. I'm like, I fucking love this. And like you said on my podcast, every strong man has probably double the strength of a woman behind her. And 100%, that's what
did I tell you? Everybody wonders how I do what I do. And Mel must be pissed. I tell you what, if Mel was pissed, this wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be like, oh, okay.
100%.
When you say you shut down the DJing because of a girl back an hour ago.
Yeah.
I was laughing in my head because I quit playing hockey because of a girl. I came home from Finland because I was dating Mel at the time.
And you know what? I don't want to make it sound like she was like,
I
just didn't want to lose what I had.
No. And I don't want to make it even remotely seem, I don't even play the game of what if I'd stayed over in Finland. If I'd stayed over in Finland, I probably would have played 8 more years, earned about 1,000 euros.
Fuck, how sweet would your elite stats be, though?
Oh, they'd be sweet. I'd have a lot more assists. A lot more assists. Oh,
you would
right?
have been the pass king, bro. 7,000
games. You know what I hate about that interview?
600 million points
and on
all
top
assists.
And on top of it, I found so I actually have a hockey card. I have several hockey cards, but on one of them, it literally says, I literally say as an 18-year-old kid, I'm not an offensive defenseman. I like focusing on the defensive zone or something. And I'm like, you suck, 18-year-old. I wanted to crumple it up and get called out on Dubzy's podcast for not having enough goals.
The first thing I don't research people, but I wanted to find one good jab at hockey on you, and
found it,
dude. That was top search, and I was like, this is unreal. But yeah, so end goal, I ain't got one, man. My end goal is,
what's your next goal then? You're a guy who broke down running. You've got it dialed into this point where you can put water in your mouth.
But I do that with everything.
Okay, fair. So is your next goal, you just ran 127.
Yeah.
Is your next one, you know what? There's another one coming up in 6 months, and that's the one, it's going to be 150.
I want to fucking be Elon Musk. I don't want to stop for nothing. The visionary, keep driving. take chances.
So what do you see happening for the Peace of Love clothing line then?
So it's funny you brought this up. About a month ago, I had to sit down with Kid. He's really busy. Come October, so actually very cool. This is the perfect time for it, actually. We made a line for Ali, the gentleman I mentioned before with Black Lives Matter, and then the End Racism. And the line was supposed to come out, but the people that make my clothes couldn't get the clothes to me during COVID, right? So when I got the clothes finally, now, we made a line that's like different than anything we've ever done. Logo, chest pocket, everything's cool. On the back it says, so we ran through about 14 ideas. Black Lives Matter, End Racism, fuck racism, this, that. The problem was the racism is like so broad, right? That, and the judgment is so broad. How do I get the message out there, right? So we came up with a line that actually just got off the print. It's like fresh. It's coming in about, I think, 2 weeks I get it. It's on the back. It says, listen, learn, grow. And it's just the message. And it's like a sweet, simple, big, in-your-face design. So everything we sell those for are going to, depending on how it works, we haven't figured out this logistics, so don't quote me on this, but it'll either go to a group in Edmonton, Calgary, or Saskatoon, all three, because that's where we're kind of like we're from, right? No offense to Regina and everywhere else. It's just we don't make that much money on this stuff. It's just very little, but every little bit helps. So we're gonna blast this line and we're gonna try to help out. So I designed like crazy dope girl crews, sandstone hoodies that are like, I think they're super sweet, but it's to get the message across, right? So this is a line that I'm really passionate about. I'm going to wear that shit all the time. And I know Ollie, being one of my really good friends, best friends too, when we did it, like his face was just like, thanks. Because when this all was going on, and I don't want to get down this rabbit hole because I don't know where this one ends, but everyone always said, what are you gonna do, Mike? Like I have a lot of friends. What are you gonna do? You gonna go picket with everyone? You gonna do this? You gonna go on Facebook and say fuck all you white privileged people and this and that? No. In my head, I said I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna feel, and I'm going to do what's right to help all y'all.
This is what I struggle with. And I was thinking to myself as you started talking about this, we put this over there and now it's come full circle. I'm glad it has.
Yeah.
I really struggle with the racism one, just in our particular area. And maybe I am, correct me if I'm wrong, because I may be wrong. But I married an American. Yeah. Married a woman from Minneapolis where George Floyd happened. And there's definitely different culture there. And she calls me on this all the time when I say things like, does our area have that much racism in it?
You know what, dude? We would be stupid to say no.
Well, actually, I would say this. I have a hard time commenting on it because I'm just like, I don't even know what to say, right?
But that's where the listen, learn, grow is, right? Because I'll say the same thing as you. I don't think so. But then someone listening goes, fucking, where have you been?
I know, with the blinders on, probably.
And that's our fault. And that's as far as I want to go on this topic, but that's our fault. So this is running the 19 hours straight, shooting for fucking 30 hours. Man, I was super fucking bummed. I did 11 hours after 19 seems super easy. Fucking excuses. So, but that was what kept going. Kenita had like hundreds of voice recordings and videos from people.
What did she say about it?
The racism?
Yeah.
She's Cambodian, right?
Right.
So and again, this is where it sounds stupid. I'm just like, it's not that I don't get it. I'm just like, how are people so fucking like, it's 2020. Why is there still racism? Her mom and dad are like, they're my family. I love them. We go to West End Mall. I see someone look at them. I look at them fucking stupid. Like, what are you looking at? And then they leave us alone. So then I go, but why did that person do that in the first place?
Here's the thing. I understand why racism is still here and that stuff is still here. And by here, I mean on the earth.
Yeah.
You only got to go back. What was it? 1950,
It wasn't long ago.
1956, something like that, is when they started doing. And now I'm forgetting the word, which is terrible of a history guy, but where black and white schools mixed. And if you look at the pictures of that, I'm like, what are they all yelling about? Like this is. But if you. But here's my view on it, and correct me, and by all means, is. Back then, if you grown up in, they're over there, we're over here, when they go together, I can understand some people being crazy. We have crazy right now.
Yeah, we have real fucking crazy.
But now you fast forward, well, that's pretty much 70 years ago.
Yeah.
And it means that we're getting better, but there's still people that were children and under the thought of the people that were those people screaming at black kids or
I know.
I
know.
Right? And so, but we're getting better, aren't we?
I would like to think so, but you and me never lived then.
I know. Well, and that's why it's hard to talk about, right?
That's why I tell everyone, just fuck racism, man. Everyone's your brother, sister. Unless they do you harm or wrong, then judge them, but don't judge them for their sex, their color, who they are, who their family was. Man, everyone has the freedom to do their own fucking choices. So when they fuck you, and I don't mean that like that, I mean like over, that's when you can judge them, but not on those topics. You judge them over for being a piece of shit. Not for, oh, you're a piece of shit because you're this color. Like, what? Fuck. I've been, so here's a really good story. I've had my ass fucking kicked. Been in like 1 or 2 fights. I'm because I don't like controversy like that. I'm not a fighter. Look at me. Obviously, I look like one.
He's a beast.
Yeah, I look like one because I'm so just jacked up on Mountain Dew. But I hate fighting. I walk out of a nightclub with one of my really good friends, Ivor, and someone yells at him, and I'm just imagination what they yell at him, right? Because to me, this word is stupid, and get a grip, dude. It's like 2014.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just, I can imagine, yeah.
They yell a stupid word at him. Ivor turns around, and he goes, "What'd you say to me?" And the guy says it again. And then somehow the reason that Ivor's like, "I'm only here to get my coat from the coat check." And this guy happens to be a bouncer yelling from the front door in the door when we're in the line to get his coat at him. And I turn to the bouncer and I go, "Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, and I'm like, "Why are you a piece of shit?" That's what I say to him. Well, what happens? Boom, they're jacked up on Mountain Dew. Who knew? Just headlock hucks me out of the club. Then Ivor's like, "Oh yeah," and then they grab him and they throw him out and they're beating the shit out of both of us outside because I went after him for like, what?
Yeah.
But my philosophy is, why would you even say that, right? And why are you just a fucking terrible, stupid human? And he beat me up, beat him up. But you know what? At the end of the day, I said, I didn't, fuck it, get beat up. Unfortunately, I was fine. Ivor was fine. He was shook up, right? But, you know, get a grip, dude.
The reason I like talking about it is it's very uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
It's an uncomfortable subject. But if you don't talk about it, right, you say, "Oh, that's all I want to say on it." It's like, well, if we don't talk about it, then people, don't talk about it. And the only way you get past things is by talking about it.
For sure.
Right? And it's one that just, well, it's hard because here in Lloydminster,
Yeah.
there isn't a diversity. There just isn't.
There's no diversity. There's no inclusion at all.
And I just assume that it's getting better. But at the same time, I'm in my bubble, other people in their bubble, and I'm not doing any. Well, God, I hope I'm not doing anyone harm. Hell, I like to think I'm the happy guy that smiles at everybody and says hello, and I'm like, but I find myself second guessing myself, which really sucks because I'm like, I walk down the street, whoever it is, "Hey, how's it going?" Great.
Everybody.
Right. That guy looked like he may have been smoking crack, but hell, whatever. He's having a good time, right? Carry on, right?
Yeah,
it has happened.
Dude, I'm running through Regina, 2 people shooting up meth.
Yeah.
I say hi, startles them, mid firing up. I actually don't even know what's meth. I don't know what you do through a syringe anymore. Could have been fucking like gutter water. I don't know. But I'm like, I run by and I see him out of the corner of my eye and I go, fucking sketchy. I'm in a bad neighborhood for sure. I don't know where I am in Regina, but I'm bad. I'm bad. When you're doing that on the sidewalk, you're in a bad neighborhood. Mike, just be you. If someone fucking stabs you, that's the card that was played here today.
Yeah.
So I get closer, and as I get closer, their like heads are down, and I don't know if they're trying to fucking hit the vein. I don't know, but they both focused. Like it's as if they found a $1,000 bill. Like they're examining something, which is a syringe in someone's arm.
Don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck up the Coca-Cola in that syringe. I could have drank it, you know? And I run by and I say, hi. And they're, and they look at me and they're like, oh, hey. I'm like, have a good morning. Like, yeah, you too. Just, continue on.
I'm reading Jim Pattison's book. There's another spoiler alert for Vancouver. And in it, he talks about being a door-to-door salesman in the 1950s.
Yeah.
And he learned, what I love about it is, he was a guy who didn't just try and sell you the same old pot and pan the same way. He tried to learn, okay, this worked. What worked about it? Okay, let's figure this out. And he talks about in his book that if he whistled going up the step, a jolly tune, 90-some% of the time, the door would at least open. Whereas if you just went up quietly and knocked, lots of times people just ignore you.
Yeah. See?
And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. A little happiness. And you just never know. I said this to Spiro because Spiro was a guy that went through a dark place in his life. He had a guy from Lloyd reach out, and just a little bit of belief goes a long way. Not saying two people shooting up and you saying hi, but you don't know.
Man, it might have made their day.
A ripple turns into
a fucking tidal wave.
That's right.
So I just one other super random story. So one morning I'm like, I'm gonna run to Kid Scotty. Just because I've always wanted to try to run on Highway 16 toward Edmonton, just see like how shitty the traffic is, right? So
what time did you start?
It was like 5:30.
Okay.
So, doesn't take long. Be there an hour and 20 minutes. End of story kind of deal, right? So, I get up, I head out. I'm running down the highway, and as I get to the corner of the highway, I go, you know what? People always ask me, man, you post nothing on Instagram. You post nothing on Facebook. I don't. If you really look, like there's lately, right? There's not much. Like my last post, you know, other than the blackout on Instagram months ago. So I go, I'm not about the thumbs up and the comments. Like they're nice, but I'd like seeing real ones. So what I did is when I rolled down Highway 16, I waved at every car that passed. Every single car on the highway, because I run into traffic, right?
Right.
Peace signs, hang loose. Peace sign, hang loose. Wave, this, rock and roll, whatever it was, whatever my hand, shooting them out. 461 people. I counted it because I got time. 461 people responded to that. That is more than any fucking person I know, other than a celebrity, that gets likes on their fucking photo. And I got the real deal shit. And I remember being like, that's what it's about. That's cool. And people were startled. I'm running. I'm nowhere near Lloyd. They don't know where the fuck I'm coming from. They don't know if I just ran from North Balfour.
They're going to just give me the peace symbol?
No, because they'd be like this. I'd just be... like everyone calls me a gazelle because the way, I don't know if you notice, like the way I run, it's like long strides, like and like just fluent, and the rhythm's just consistent, right? So it'd be a guy coming at you, and as you get closer, just peace sign, hang loose, rock and roll, lots of rock and roll. You know what the worst part is? I had to get a massage.
Are you trying to tell me you gave the peace sign so much?
My shoulder.
Your shoulder's sore?
Knots. I have one of those impact guns. Dude, I had ran it on there for probably 20 minutes, and you could feel the knots, and it was disgusting. And the next day, my shoulder was like sore. Dude, you just do this for an hour and a half, just saluting.
That motion, I think most
a lot of dudes, but they have 4 inches of travel. I had
4 inches of travel for 37 seconds.
Yeah, hour and a half. Approximately 28 inches of travel. It's like it's a normal night too, but I'm just saying, like, it's also when I'm running. So I did it, counted it. You know what I love? The oil field workers, everyone hates on them. Sure, judge what you want. 2 guys driving in their crew truck, just like that 5 o'clock bounce. The Tim Hortons bounce. Tim Hortons just like kind of on the cigarette, half hanging out of one of their mouth. Just kind of like, my life sucks. That's probably the dude that's wife left him, cheating on someone, like everything's just terrible. All of a sudden, this guy running, which is no fun, we've established this, rolls by, boom, peace. Both of them are like, oh shit, hey, and what, like I love because I can see their review, and you can see they're still flustered. Their hands are fucking in the air, like I didn't shoot you.
Well, you realize a ton of oil field workers come from the small town, and back when I was growing up, you waved at everybody, because you knew everybody. Or
but now people don't.
Well, because we don't know each other. Or
who cares?
Well, I agree. It still happens. You'll be driving down the highway, and all of a sudden you wave, and you'll be like, why the hell did I just wave? And the person waved back, and we're both going, that was kind of weird. Who was that? Was that Bill's cousin? No, he wouldn't be out here. What is he doing out here?
So everyone that drives with me laughs because I wave, and no one waves back when I drive. Like, I wave at everyone, and Kenya's like, when are you going to give it up? I'm always just like the old farmer wave just off the dash.
Have you tried different ones, though? Giving them the...
No, only one that works for me, dude, is window down, out the window. Hey.
Well, that's because you're too out. You gotta.
No, that's the only one I get a wave. The rest of them, unless I give them somehow everyone sees the finger.
Well, that's a universal sign, right? And that is a way to fire somebody straight up.
I know, but I could, like the Martian, split your finger V wave.
It is crazy to me.
And they'll look at it and they don't respond. I give them the finger, they give me the finger back, like it's like instinct. But if I wave, and they see it, they don't wave.
It's crazy to me though if. Something so small can make a person's day. Have you now you got McDonald's and Tim Hortons, they got the 2 lines, right? Because that makes us feel like we're moving somewhere instead of having the long 1 line, right? So all you need to do is when you get moving up, right, and it's your turn, if you're close to the next person moving, just let them go, and the sheer joy that is on their face. Because I've been the other person where I'm like, no, you go, and then they're like, no, you go. I'm like, all right, I'll go. And half the time I buy them a coffee because they're right behind me. And I'm like, I feel good.
Oh,
it's like, literally, what was that? Like 5 seconds? That's what they gave me. And over the moon. But, I mean, the finger's no different. The finger just raises the blood level. And
it's wild.
We were out walking with me and Harley were walking there probably 2 months ago. And came up to a crosswalk. And I've learned this in the mornings. Don't take for granted people are awake yet and walk right across crosswalk.
For sure.
You need to look. And I told Harley, I'm like, we're walking up to him, and it was like his second day. And I'm like, whoa, just wait. He's like, what? And the car like blew it. And he was so mad. I'm like, man, it's like 5:30 in the morning. They probably are like somewhere else. Don't even let it bother you, right? And then it was probably like 2.
Is this at Bud Miller entrance?
It wasn't a Bud Miller. It was Holy Rosary.
Oh, okay.
Holy Rosary.
So in a school zone.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah. And it was probably like a month later, a vehicle buzzed us, and I was mad. He's like, whoa. You just need to chill out. Like, it's okay. It's 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, you're right. So take my own medicine.
5:30 in the morning, Bud Miller crosswalk. I've hit that thing hundreds of times. One time I go, someone buzzes me. Fair enough. I'm running, right? I'm always watching, but I thought he saw me, right? So I'm running out, and then when I'm getting close to leaving the concrete that enters the asphalt, I realize he didn't see me. He doesn't see shit, actually, at this time. Misses me, fucking clips the curb, like the median on the other side, and like bounces his truck all over the road. I'm like, there you go, fucking karma.
It's hard now because, like with people, and I can't sit here. I'm a hypocrite if I say I've never done it because I have done it. But like with the phone's ability to just take your distract you. I can't imagine like running down a major highway anymore or biking down.
You're really focused. You're not looking down.
Yeah, you got to pay attention because it only takes
eye contact with every person. That's why I wave. Is because I'm watching for my safety, right? But at the same time, it's a kill birds too soon. My safety, their enjoyment. A wave, like you said, man, make 461 people had a little something more that day.
Because Mikey Dubz.
No, just because a random fucking dude running at 5:30 in the morning was just out there blasting rock and roll signs.
Well, I know I could do this for another 4 hours, but we're over 2 hours. So why don't we?
Are we?
Yeah, why don't we do this? I'm keeping you up late. I'm gonna make tomorrow morning. You're gonna be no excuses.
No, tomorrow morning. Actually, my run schedule's tomorrow night, so I get to sleep until 6.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have a no excuses post tomorrow. Not that anyone's gonna hear it. This comes out Monday, so
Tuesday. You're gonna run with me Tuesday when? Oh, this comes out Monday.
yeah.
Monday morning. Let's go for a tear.
What's a tear to you?
Whatever you want it to be. Let's hear this excuse. Yeah, a little sweat. It's hot in here now.
That's
Anyways.
true. I could do a 5K. Screw it. I could do a 5K Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
So one last thing, because everyone, like you've alluded, I need to set a few things real straight here. 100K wasn't fun. But I did it, and I'm sad that I didn't do 200 because I really wanted to do 200K. That was the goal. I'm going to do it. No buts. I'm going to try again. If I don't get there, whatever, I'm going to try again.
Can I interview you when you hit 200K?
100%.
Like, I just want you to be like, hey, I thought I was going to, you know what's funny? I had my alarm set for 3 a.m, and I thought, I'm crazy.
I should FaceTime him.
I'm crazy. And so I was like, I'm going back. You do it again. I'm coming over in the middle of the night, bring some podcast gear, just so I can
I got
have
all
a
of it. We'll just do it.
2-minute, like,
And you can interview people, just bang off a bunch of randoms there.
True.
So 100K wasn't fun. Did it for a good cause. I just want to put that one to bed. 100 plus K, I guess. You're only as strong as the person that supports you, which is my wife. And she has been phenomenal through all this. She lets me do a lot of weird, crazy, fucking wild shit that I promise no other wife would be cool with. Not in a bad way, but in like this exertion, like pushing yourself to like these extreme limits that are like borderline
Insanity.
healthy. Yeah. My roommate, Chu, was there serving food the whole time. You know, your crew is just as important. If no one has nutrition, no one's doing that shit. He was on the bit from 6 a.m. till 2 a.m. when we stopped. And he was planning to go all fucking night, right? My mom, she's always supported me my whole life for being fucking wild and never being able to convince me otherwise. When I have a vision of doing something, it doesn't matter what she tells me. I've ruled out the risks. I'm a big boy. I know what's up, you know? So, you know, those 3 people, especially for this run, you know, play a huge part. Friends that came, videos that came, and then peace of love, all the homies that support it, because they like that's how I know I don't have to prove to no one where the money goes, because so many people support it because they see it, right? They see things change. Like that's the thing, is trying to get the world to change for better. That's the goal. Whatever that takes, Sean, I don't know, because tomorrow morning I'm gonna have a new idea how to do it. That's the goal. You want to, until our next podcast at 205.5 episode, we will go over where we're at that point. But the way you're banging them out could be next month, so I'm really have to get the fucking shit or get off the pot on something here. But there's no end goal. The end goal is to always progress in the right direction for change and keep pushing the limit of mankind. Because when you're bored, you're not doing fuck all. You got to keep moving.
Well, what you're doing is interesting, and I like interesting people. So I'm sure 205.5 can happen. That'll be a little ways down the road.
That's perfect, because hopefully I have something cool then.
Well, let's do. You know, it's funny. I still have the Crude Master Final 5. I gotta hammer out.
I know. I thought, you know what, I'd study for this. There's no studying for this.
There's no studying for this. You know what? I feel bad because at the beginning when I started doing them, they're like, "Oh, that's a tough question." I'm like, "Come on, just give me something."
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, if I was put on the spot, that's kind of a tough question. But I feel like enough people know some of these questions are coming that hopefully they're not so tough anymore. But anyways, Crude Master Final 5.
I still don't even know what they are other than listening to people bang them out. So let's get at it. I love it.
I try and create unique questions. They're probably not that unique anymore. The first one is, and you do a podcast. So if you could sit down with one person on your podcast, who would it be? Who would it be?
Like anybody?
Yeah, like anyone, dead or alive. You could have anyone to pick their brain.
Well, what comes to heart first is I know her so well. Like my wife, I really like. We're gonna do one for our anniversary. That's a spoiler. Like that 1 year. What's it like living with a weirdo? That's what it's gonna be called, right? So that's what it is. So she's like primary. Of course, my mom. I've known her too, but I like to open her up on a podcast to see like where she came from. But if I had to choose someone that would be, people are, I'd like to get Elon and Bill Gates in a room. I'd like to see the weird clash of titans from those two visionary people, started from weird shit, invested their whole life fortunes to try to make their dream happen because no one would give them credits. And now look at them, billionaires, right? I like those kind of people. I just want to see what their brain's at. Like, they're visionaries, right? They've done some stuff. As much as people might not like them now because of whatever they're doing, they got there. They invented like Teams, Outlook. You know what I mean?
Elon Musk just put a bloody spaceship in outer space.
But he failed a few times doing it, but he learned.
100%. And he's going to get that sucker, or well, he got that sucker to
But
land.
he just signed with like NASA or the government now. Like, they want his shit.
100% they do. The guy's genius.
Yeah, but he's the guy that sits on the... Yeah, we'll get him next time.
Yes, agreed. But he's the guy who, him and his brother started a company. They rented a place like this, probably a smidge bigger, and he slept on the couch so they wouldn't have to pay for an apartment.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He'd be a fascinating interview.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people like that. But just off the top of my head, those would be...
That'd be a fun one. Okay.
I just like it.
What one race? If there was one race, and you might already answered this with comrades, but is there one race that sticks out to you that maybe you're not there yet and you want to get there?
So there's a thing called like the Big Six. So if you qualify for these races, you can do... Oh, Jesus, now I'm getting tired. Boston, New York, Tokyo, London, Berlin. Oh my, missing the sixth one. It's terrible. Anyways, if you qualify for them, you get to do all of them, but you got to be really fast. And then you get a little plaque that says you did all the big races, right? But the one race I'll always support is Saskatoon's, because I fucking love brain sport out of Saskatoon. And they, like, you think people sink volunteer time into making a race happen. Like Brian from Saskatoon, the owner of Brain Sport, he wants me. He's the reason I want to keep running at times, because that's how I want to grow up. Like, you talk to this guy, business owner, just humble, but he's ran his whole life, and you can see how it changed him. So Saskatoon, always big sick. You know what? Any race, dude. Any charity race, fun race. Just no more virtual races. They're boring for me.
Okay. One event. If you could DJ one event.
Oh, fuck.
Headliner Mikey Dubz.
Sean Newman's wedding.
It's already been done.
I know, I missed it.
That's bullshit.
Cody Maz's wedding.
Cody
No.
I wonder what Cody Maz's wedding is going to be like.
400 DJs. And lights.
All
lights.
fighting over the
and just
DJ
a lot
booth.
of lights. A lot of lights. One event that I could DJ, Coachella would be dope. Like, cause you got diverse. Like, that's my game. I would play indie, electronic, rock, pop, hip hop, you name it. Like, I could actually DJ to the crowd, because everyone there's super open minded because every stage performer is different. Travis Scott walks out. Khaled walks out. This person walks out. Steve Aoki walks out. Beyonce walks out. Then Mumford & Sons walks. You know what I mean? Like, it's super open-minded. So if I had to choose like a real mainstream one, probably be Coachella. It's really mainstream, I know, and it's kind of sappy, but I like little intimate ones, but Coachella, sure.
I like music. Who's one song, artist, whatever you want to play it off as, that you're currently listening to?
Man, I love Mumford & Sons.
Mumford & Sons?
Dude, I just love them. They're like my go-to all the time. Whenever I want to listen to something, I fucking throw Mumford & Sons. And then I throw Travis Scott on. I'm really weird. But then I'll throw like Killswitch Engaged on. I'm just all over. I am literally all over the map.
Well, you run as much as you do, you're going to have to be.
Yeah, you have to be weirdo.
How about your final one? You've mentioned reading a bunch of different books. What is maybe a book you look back on as being very influential on your life?
So this is a funny story. Before this year, didn't read any books. Hate reading. I hate reading.
You just said you're a fucking engineer and...
Hate it.
Okay.
Engineering has one English class. That's why we take it. Man, CAT. K-A-T. Like, seriously, you should see my spelling. Everyone makes fun of me. I have people that have to proofread everything I do. I got a, wife proofreads everything. I got a girl at work that's just, she can't handle it. So she proofreads everything for me before I send stuff out.
Okay.
Because I'm like thesis built. Just no commas, no nothing. Just go. Where. I don't know how to spell any of them. W.
So then, in your short time of reading, what is your favorite book then?
You know what? Goggins had that dope book, Can't Hurt Me, and it was about like how he was just
I read it.
beat up. And
did you listen to it or did you read it?
Read it. You have to read it.
Oh no, you gotta listen to it now.
Well, it's because he has like those intermission podcasts.
You gotta listen to it now. You have no idea what you're missing.
I know, but that was the kind of book I needed to read.
I get it. But now you could listen to it.
Yeah.
And Goggins breaking in and just like laying it. Oh man, that's a fantastic book.
Oh, it is, and it's the first book I read when I got into reading.
Have you? Obviously, you listened. How did you stumble upon Goggins? Was it Joe
Kanita?
Rogan?
I told her, you know what, honey? So I used to smoke, and I quit smoking like 8 years ago on the nose. Like I just said, I'm done.
Like cigarettes?
Yeah, done. And I never touched them again. I still have the pack on my dresser. Same pack. 8 years. 9 years now. Yeah, 9 years. There's a date on it. This year, Christmas hit. I said, baby, I'm reading. She goes, okay, we'll see. Buys me a book. Pitting in every night. Slowest. Like she's laying in bed. I'm laying in bed. All I can hear is like as she's flipping pages as she reads. Here's me. Like it's just it was probably painful for her. So because I read every word.
You know how many wives, maybe husbands for all I know, wives though are pissed at David Goggins.
Oh, for sure.
When I listened to him on Joe Rogan, I could have ran through a brick wall. I remember listening to it. I was
nothing could stop me.
It makes you
get hard.
It makes you want to go conquer the world. It makes you, dude. Look at what you're doing. Yeah. The no excuses. The David Goggins, like,
you know
listen,
what?
You're fooling
now
yourself.
that we talk about that, I'd like to interview him.
David Goggins would be an absolute beast.
Fuck, he'd come in, I'd tear my shirt off and like, let's go run. And he'd be like, yeah, let's run 80 miles. Okay, no, I was thinking like a quick 16 with Sean.
Who, there was a comedian or an author. Who was it? Who had David Goggins come live with them for a month. Do you know what I'm talking about? He wrote a book on it. And he was on Joe Rogan, I'm pretty sure. And the first night, or the first time they're at the gym, he looks at him and he goes, all right, do 300 pull-ups. And he's like, I can't do 300. And he goes off on him about the word can't. And they end up being there for like, I don't know, it was like 12 hours. And he gets 300 pull-ups done, right? He's like, see? And then it was like day 3. And there's this giant snowstorm outside. Nobody's outside. They're directed not to go outside. And Goggins goes, okay, let's go for a run. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, they're telling us to stay inside. Perfect time to run. And so they go and run out in this storm.
That's my dude.
Oh, man. His
Him
life...
and Joe Doza, man. The guy that created Spartan races. Those are my dudes.
Yeah, well...
He got in some shit, though, over COVID.
Did he?
Yeah, he got shipped out like 19 kids to his like ranch and put them through like Bud SEAL training. So one of the things, what he had a bunch of, I listened to it. He had a text from parents, but one of the kids said, the dad goes, how's your day? And the kid responds, this is torture. And the dad goes, tell me something good that happened. Dad's like super dad, right? Tell me something good that happened. Nothing. I hate you and mom while you're at home on our nice couch watching TV. You are torturing your son physically and mentally. I'll never be the same person. That's what the 15-year-old replies back. Dad goes, I'm sure something awesome happened today. He goes, Joe made us sit in a river for 15 minutes, a freezing cold river. If anyone cried, the clock reset. Joe had 6-year-olds to 18-year-olds all together doing this. As soon as someone cried, clock restarted.
Can you imagine being at that?
Dude, if I had a kid, gone. Joe, here's my little one, guy, girl, let's go.
You're telling me you got a 6-year-old, you're sending them to that?
Man, at the end of it, those kids said they came out better humans.
Because they didn't know what pain was anymore. They're the Terminator.
No, they came out little monsters during a pandemic. So my kid now, when something happens to me, they're a fighter. They're going to survive, you know? Not saying I would put my kid, but Kenita would be like, oh, hell. That'd be like...
Let's see what Kenita says about this. I can't wait for Kenita to hear that and go, hell no.
No, she'd be like, fuck, this is why Mike, like when we have kids, they're like Sean's kids can't come over to play with Mike's because be like, hey, what are you guys doing today? what Mike guy get you guys up to?
Well, I want to thank you for hopping on. We've been going, the cleaning crew, I see the lights have come on. That must mean the cleaning crew has finally showed up. But thanks for hopping on, big fella. It was... we finally got to make it happen after I got to hop on yours. And, this has been a lot of fun.
It has been good, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Until 205.5.
Love you. Peace sign. No one can see it except for the YouTubers. Thanks, Shawnee.
Hey, folks. Thanks again for joining us today. If you just stumbled on the show and like what you hear, please click subscribe. Remember, every Monday and Wednesday, a new guest will be sitting down to share their story. The Sean Newman Podcast is available for free on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you find your podcast fix. Until next time.